What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile National Championship for the Nepal region, brought to you by the Oppo F90 Pro. Hook up your fun with the Oppo F90 Pro. This is Super Johnny, ladies and gentlemen, joined by Phoenix Evans right next to me. And today, Phoenix, it is the last day of the semifinals, last day, last opportunity for these teams to actually etch their name to that list of top 16 teams that will be moving forward to the finals. And I mean, it is Group versus Group C. Let's see what sort of action these two groups will bring to the table.
Yeah, they have a lot of opportunities right now. Only five games basically left for some team themselves. It's already finished every single game basically. Just completed their all the 20 games. Now, the important part is some teams it's already like situated them in the top leaderboard. We talk about the
Yeah.
first page of the overall ranking. They're quite happy with their performance, but still, some of the teams also have some matches left. Let's see how they're going to how they are going to
Ex-
dominate the lot.
Exactly. I mean, we're going to see that domination coming in from these teams, and I mean that is something that needs to be focused on quite a lot because once they reach the finals, there will be a lot on the line for everyone. $30,000 to be a little bit more precise, out of which
Yeah.
the first position will be walking away with $10,000. And the way you do that is we've been talking about it every single day for almost a year now. By earning points in every single match that you play, first position will be walking away with 15 points. That is the chicken dinner win right there. And along with that, the second position will be getting 12 points, third, 10 points, fourth position, 8 points, and so on until you reach the 13th and 16th position, from where you will get more points. On the other side, if you get one kill in game, that is equivalent to 1 point inside the match. And we have seen those aggressive teams that which I mean Skylight Gaming is one of those names that have sort of dominated in the recent
Yeah.
days, but today we're gonna have to see what exactly Skylight Gaming will be bringing to the table. I mean, it is gonna be quite interesting to witness again after after Friday, today, Sunday, another opportunity being given to the squad.
Yep, and we have way out Slayton also, who's playing today on Pro Day, and they were phenomenal. If you talk about their performance, if you talk about their position at the first place of the overall ranking, but if you talk about the squad versus Pro, we have Elementrix, teams 8 times to PN Crew, Team Extreme Destiny, Cinema Art, and Critical Nepal. I just want to mention one thing and that is Elementrix in the final game. They secured a chicken, and I'm talking about yesterday's final game. They somehow managed to secure a chicken dinner, and that was a comfortable victory in their favor. I expect the same from their side.
Well, as we were talking about it, I mean, we do expect a comeback from these teams. We're talking about the schedule, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to remain the same five matches to be played between groups A and C, starting with Erangel, Miramar, followed by match number 3, Erangel. Game number 4 is going to be Sanok, and then match number 5, the last game of the day, is going to be Erangel once again. But as we move forward, the overall rankings in front of us, where Jan Mara Ali is in charge right now, sitting on the first position with 202 points for themselves. On the second, we have Raw official with 198. Although these teams are done with their matches, so
Yeah,
the esports will now have the opportunity to claim the first position again for themselves. Vibes not too far behind, sitting on 173 points, just 14-point difference between him and Ekta Esports. And the thing that makes this the most interesting is the fact that Vibes just keep on playing with a three-man roster. Along with that, as we were talking about one of the biggest names in Nepal, not just in this lobby, but in Nepal in terms of PUBG Mobile, it is going to be Skylight Gaming, a squad sitting on the 8th position right now in the rankings.
yeah, and you know what? As I just mentioned earlier, that vibes they are playing with the team in lineup. Still, they're showcasing the perfect dominance. But team like Way Outstation, they are on the 11th position. Three signatures on the game with 142 points. So PWP Esports and Kings Nepal, they just completed their matches. So maybe there are a lot of chances, quite possible that one of he may drop it down towards the 16th or towards the third place overall ranking.
Well, as you said, I mean, there is going to be a possibility, but I guess Bad Cops, Trikuru Nepal, Extreme Elementaries, these teams will try to make sure that they focus on the matches that they have left because the teams behind them will also be competing really hard to secure a spot in that finals again. As we do talk about Ace, they'll be stepping into the battleground once again, and it is going to be a big challenge for them because I believe the opportunity has already passed, and there is a very, very small possibility that they make it finals. But on the other side, talking about the teams that are already basically out of the competition, Camp went sitting on the 21st position and IOTS on the 19th position. 20 matches done for these teams, and with matches out of the way and them sitting out of the top 16 means they won't be moving forward to the finals. So there are still other teams like Team Destiny, Harame, who are quite close to the top 16 position. But let's have a look at the comparison of stats between P and Crew, and this is going to be from average stats of biggest that they perform. So P and Crew, I mean, there has been a really good improvement from the team because now they do look and find themselves for a decent position in the semifinals, but uh, inside the top 16 in fact. But that is day one versus day two and of this week. In fact, they dished out more damage, they took more damage, but they got more kills in return, and points per match average is looking really good right now. And it's 17.6.
And you know what? It's massive, Tony. But there's one thing, and that is Sandesh and Season. Their coordination was perfect throughout 5 matches. But let's talk about the head-to-head overall stats. We introduced Skylight Gaming. If we talk about damage, PN2 has that upper advantage and damage as well. Kills, PN2 has 80 kills. On the other side, Skylight Gaming has 50 kills. There's a huge difference between this track too. But how they are going to play today, because now they are up against each other in all 5 matches.
Well, as you said, I mean, these teams will be facing each other today as well, and it's going to be quite interesting to see exactly what each of them is going to be capable of. Although, looking at the stats, I mean, in the recent days, they have done a little bit better. Skylight Gaming, they had a pretty good start, and that's the thing that's keeping them in the lead right now. But if and True, they are able to pop off really nicely today, maybe there will be an opportunity for them to actually move even further in the standings. But over on the other side, looking at the stats of Skylight Gaming, again, the team is sitting on the 8th position right now, and I believe a man who is responsible for that achievement, it is going to be Joker, joined by Chari, who always seems to find that opening for his team to get that 3,790 damage dished out. Although survival times are low throughout the board for this team, they do tend to focus on those skills quite nicely, and just keeping a really nice balance is a thing that works out for them in the long run.
I totally agree with that point, but let's talk about this particular player, and that is Heaven. 8 kills, his name. Talk about the KPM is also very promising. It's 1.2. He has the highest average survival time amongst his team members. So yeah, this like this showcase that he has the highest amount of capability to survive till long and to secure and collect a lot of points so that they secure a good position in the overall ranking. The point is they have only 5 matches left. So basically they are qualified, right? If you're on the first page of the leaderboard, your journey is going to be quite smooth till for the finals. But the teams who are at the second page and the third page of the overall ranking, they have to step up.
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, the teams on the second and the third page, they will have to step up. And I mean, teams like Ace, they might not be able to qualify themselves, but we always talk about this. These teams sitting at the bottommost positions of the standings, have the capability of ruining games for the teams that are competing or building a momentum for themselves before they move to the finals. And that is something that I believe Team Ace is going to try and do, or maybe they're just going to try and focus on their gameplay, try and improve, try and learn from the experience that they're getting competing against these big names, names like P and Crew, names like Skylight Gaming, names like Vibes and Ekta Esports, and just improve themselves, focus on the next tournament that they're going to be a part of, and try and build a name for themselves in that in the next major tournament that they're going to be seeing. And but for now, I mean, they did improve quite a lot since their performance in the early stages of the semifinals. I mean, week one and week two, if you compare how Ace has played, there has definitely been a change in how they look at the game, and that is something that Ace needs to focus on right now. Just keep on improving, keep on learning from the experiences. But on the other side, though, as we do talk about try harding inside this game, that is going to be required so much from Team Harame and Team Destiny, because we're sitting right on the verge of qualifying. But if they make a single mistake, they are going to be stuck outside the top 16, and that is going to be a heartbreaking moment for those squads.
Certainly, that is going to be a heartbreaking moment for those squad because right now they have a lot of experience, right, to work on. They
Yeah.
know where the opponent teams drops down and from which side of an area they'll start rotating. And if the circle is not favoring us in the early stage of the match, they have those options to rotate early to finish those finish that looting early and then start engaging in some fights. But the important part is how you react if you got stuck in a very 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 worse position. Then you also you somehow manage to like backfire, or you should have that backup plan to retaliate back.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, a backup needs to be there for these teams, like a plan to fall back, a plan to disengage from a fight that they're going to be part of. But as soon as the matches begin, we're going to witness what exactly these teams have in mind and what they are thinking is going to happen with how they're going to play those games. Again, three Erangel, so it's going to be really important for the teams to perform on those Erangel matches, the OG map that is there, and where we do expect almost every single team to be in a comfortable position. But in the recent days, we had seen the trajectory sort of lean towards the extremities of the map. Along with that, the circle was also sort of taking weird shifts. I mean, we didn't get to witness those northern shifts on day one of this week. That is Friday. We did get to witness a northern shift on Erangel, one towards the military island as well. And those circles do tend to create a lot of chaos for the teams, majorly towards the main side of the island on the central island. So that is going to be something that everyone is going to be keeping an eye out on. Along with that, Ekta Esports is a team that I do expect to do really well today because that is a team that does really, really well for themselves under pressure. And well, the pressure is only going to get higher once you reach the final. Right now, it's at its peak for the semifinals. And with that being said, I mean, I want to know from you, what are your expectations or your experience of witnessing this new team that we're witnessing for the first time?
I think so. Ekta Esports, they had good, right? And they are
Yeah.
showcasing the perfect type of performance, aggression, a balanced gameplay from their side. They never over aggress, never ever showed that, that over expressive way. But the important part is the way they are dealing with those team who has a lot of experience, who just played in those previous PMCUs and like the PMPLs. They are just showcasing that, yup, they are one of the best teams right now, and they are here to prove that prove the same thing. Now, the important part is yesterday I just want to talk about one player, and that is Sandesh. Yesterday he was playing with the Car 98 in a Sanok map, and he was literally knocking down players with that gun too.
I mean, it is quite impressive what Sandesh can accomplish, and not just inside of on just map of Sanok using a bolt action, but I believe with any weapon in any given map, Sandesh has done a wonderful job of making sure that his team will always have a way out of a pressurable situation, and that man does the job quite perfectly in the sense that. Instead of just backing off, he's going to start applying counter pressure instantly on the opposing side, and he's a man who's capable of. We've seen incredible clutches from Sandesh from P and Crew on international stages as well. So a player with a really high skill caliber and a lot of potential, and he always tends to deliver. But over on the other side, I mean, there is another team that I want to talk about today. It is going to be Vibes. Three-man roster doing so well for themselves. We have hardly ever seen that happen. And Vibes, they're just making history with their performance in this national championship.
Johnny, there's a huge reason behind it why they are every single time they have an upper advantage, and that is whenever they lost a
Yeah.
player in the very, very early skirmishes, they just back off, they just disengage from a fight, and then they will start focusing on gather and collect some placement points. That's it. They never engage in an unnecessary fight. Just stay inside one compound. Just look out for some crucial angles. If we can manage to steal some kills, they always go for that type of gameplay. But otherwise, if they lost that one crucial player or two, they always goes for those passive approach. Otherwise, on the other hand, if they are alive, if every single player is alive, then they just they are like, yep, we are going to showcase that aggression, and you will not you're gonna escape that parade.
I mean, definitely, and it is also a really important factor from the side of Vibes. The reason for their success in those squad fights is the fact that they time them quite perfectly. Every single match, early stages, you're going to see this team disengage and just be really passive. And it's in the late game stages when we actually do see them pop off really, really nicely and take all those kill points for themselves. But before we jump into the action, we're going to take a very short break, ladies and gentlemen. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back once again, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen, to the PUBG Mobile National Championship for the Nepal region, brought to you by the Oppo F19 Pro. Book up your fun with the Oppo F19 Pro. This is Super Johnny, joined by Phoenix Savant, and well, it's almost time to jump into the action of the first game, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be a wrangle played between teams from Group A and C, and it is the last day, once again, the last day of the semifinals, and here we go. One last game, not one last game, in fact, five last games, but to decide the top 16 that will be moving forward to the finals.
We have the plain path in front of us, and just starting from the southern western side of military base in Wilson, yes, eastern side of Yasnaya, Oleana. Now, if we talk about the zone, where the first zone is going to form, if I'm going to predict that, I think it's just going to form towards the northern side of the map. Maybe it's covering that Siverny, Rozhok shooting range, Yasnaya, and school area, and Puchingti too, like some of those Puchingti compartments. But the important part is usually the team like Elementrix, they prefer that 2+2 split, and however, it always worked out in their favor. Now the teams are different. I'm comparing from the yesterday it was playing with different group, right? They were playing against a different group. Now the teams are different today. Some of the teams are different. So I think so. I think so. They might change some of their plans.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, the plans might get changed, but look. Oh, I guess the plans definitely need to get changed right now, Phoenix. I mean, we do have an extreme eastern circle this time with around 40% water inside of it. And it's going to be quite a
Oh yeah.
challenge to see exactly how the teams are going to take this situation. Along with that, look at that, Elementrix realizing that we do have less number of teams inside of this game, and they have decided to go for a 2-2 split, which is going to
Yeah.
give them really, really nice loot in this game. But Bad Cops Or in fact, maybe talking about cinema arts and okay, Shata King B taking on CJ right now, going for the charge. It looks like CJ has found himself a weapon as well. I believe he's sitting on the stairs with a shotgun in his hands. But okay, Shata, they're gonna be in a little bit of trouble as Reckon on the other side is gonna be taken down, and King is getting charged on at this point. Sasuke on the other side is a man with no weapon in his hand. King is gonna be dropped out as well, and that is gonna be the opening that cinema arts are gonna be looking for, taking down two players from the side of okay, Shata, putting them down in the ditch in this game.
A shotgun in the close range fight always gonna help you if your crosshair placement is awesome, and we just witnessed the same thing. Now, Cinema Art, they have an advantage because they knocked out one player, they secured one kill too, and Pratik spots down another player of Destiny. He's just falling back, and I don't think so that both the players has any type of helmet always, because Pratik, he has that M416 with 25 bullets, only 25 bullets in that gun, so he has to be careful. But by the looks of it, Mr. Avi realized that he is not in a good position, and he just fall back.
Well, let's see. I mean, the decision to fall back is definitely going to be a good one, and that is going to work out in the favor of the players of Cinema Arts. But okay, Shata Hayabusa, he's trying to get away on the city of Lipovka. Mr. Ravi, he's still hiding in that red house. Absolutely nowhere to go because it is a couple of feet that he has to move. In fact, I believe it's going to be somewhere around 30 or 40 feet that he has to move from the red house to the orange to be quite close to Hayabusa. But even that rotation is not going to be quite an easy one for him. But let's see. It is going to be a bit of a challenge. Hayabusa in the back lines getting into a position from where he can actually provide a little bit of cover fire to Mr. Ravi. Uzi in the hands, and along with that, I believe that is going to be a UFP as well. So it is going to be a perfect choice of weapons. He might just be able to cover up a one versus two situation as well. All right. On the other side, though, there's going to be the opening found by Mr. Ravi is going to take retaliation shots from CJ, but this might just be the thing that helps the players of Okishata out. But CJ with a grenade, it just lands perfectly. Avi,
That's
he's
done.
just going to get destroyed. Oh, there it is. Avi is going to be down on his knees, and I believe that is going to be the cue for Okishata to take an exit. Hayabusa, he's going to run for his life, but I don't think he's going to get long distance.
We never anticipated that someone's just gonna throw a frag grenade just on top of him, and he tried his level best to escape, but it was not the case. Right now, we can see that Hayabusa, he got stuck in a 1v4 situation. He has that Bison in his hand, exchanging some bullets, just falling back. My apologies there. He has that 8 AM, and we all know if you have no helmet, if you have no helmet of this, one headshot can take you down. That was a good approach from the side of Hayabusa. Knocked out one, but no. On the other side, in the retaliation fire, he take an exit. So as his team, Destiny got eliminated the first position.
Well, Destiny taken out early. It is quite an upset for the team. Okay, Shata being finished off like that out in the open. Cinema Arts is definitely going to be happy with how they performed in this match because now they have 4 extra points from this game, and Cinema Arts also in a position from where they are going to be in a pressure situation. They need every single point in every single match that they're gonna play. 5 matches to go. This is gonna be after this match. There's gonna be 4 more left. But over on the other side, towards the water, we do have the 3-man roster in front of us. That is going to be the squad of Vibes. And as we were talking about the survival sort of stats in the late game stages, Malik is the man who is major responsible. From day one, from quarterfinals, we have been witnessing him do a wonderful job, even in the late stages, managed to survive till the top 3 most of the time and does a really nice job of making sure that those placement points are coming their way. But vibes are all about those mid game team fights. That is where this team shines. That is where they get a major chunk of those kill points.
At that point, but right now we can see Johnny that Vibes, they are looting those Water City compounds. Malik, he already has an M762 and an AKM, but he still picks up that one pistol. Maybe he needs some more bullets. And but the important part is Team Destiny. They take an exit in a very early stage of the match, and that's not good, right? I think so. I think so. They are on the third page of the leaderboard, and every single match is very crucial for them. And that was not the Destiny. Now, The important part is the zone is also closing in. This is the first zone, and it's going to dish out some constant amount of damage, but the damage is still low.
Well, let's see how the situation is going to turn out for the squad. But in Destiny, in the city of Pochinki, right on the edge of the circle, they have the luxury right now of taking control of the entire city for themselves, holding on to that position for a long time. But one team that does not like to do that at all is going to be the squad of Ekta Esports. We do see a little bit of a few shots being dished out by Spiky right there onto the page, but now that is going to result in the page knowing exactly where Spiky is going to be present, trying to take out the tires of that group right there. But Spiky is going to try and get away. The page needs to be careful because there are other lads inside of Ekta Esports present in the vicinity as well, trying to control the city of Melta, and it is not going to be an easy fight. Ekta Esports is not an easy team to go up against in a squad where they have the potential to destroy absolutely anyone they face.
So we're just talking about Ekta Esports. Look at that, this formation. They have a lot of control of this Melta area, right? They have a lot of information too. But right now, the players from Team Extreme, they are not compromising their position, except Kazi still like jiggle peeking from a particular angle with the TP28 and the 4 times on it. And if he catches one player out in an open, for sure he's just going to take him down. Now Dipesh also doing the same thing. DP with those burst shots is lethal. But if we're talking about the lethal, I think so Muffin, he just hiding behind the cemetery stack with his bike and just got thrown down. If any player just decided that he's just going to start moving from that particular area or start rotating from that road, he might get punished. But look at that. Teams from the western side of the circle, they are also moving inside the circle. And I don't think so that Cobb will face any type of, problem while rotating from the Noble Bridge.
Let's see. I mean, no reply bridge is being used by the players from Bad Cops right now, and they're going to face a little bit of challenge uh, when they are already on the other side. The Elementrix closing in from the left, and we do have the squad of Ekta Esports already controlling the Milta City for themselves, so it's not going to be an easy entrance to find some cover for the city of Bad Cops. Although talking about Elementrix, I mean, they did already, in fact, go for an early rotation and early crossing from the military bridge. So now the whole squad is united on the main island. But look at this, Miracle trying to fire some shots towards the page, who's going for a rotation along with his teammates, but the page is going to get away. Scott free right there. And Ekta Esports, they're still hungry for blood. They're still looking for those kills, but it's going to be a while before a collision actually happens. Any team up against Ekta Esports, we're gonna have to wait for that fight. But talking about fights, looks like there might be something breaking out between these two squads, Elementrix and Bad Cops.
Yeah, but the players spots down the individual of both teams. Right now, Bad Cops they decided that they're going to hold that crucial Ripnoid Bridge angle and they'll stay there. They'll stay there until and unless the sword just moves away. But look at the position of Black. He just want to climb or he just want to take cover of that metal bridge, and that's the move. But I don't think so that he can utilize that perfectly because there's not a single team, there's no team in the military island.
Well, no team in the military island. Everyone has made their rotation, but Destiny starting things off, taking down one of the individuals from the side of Trikura Nepal, and that is something that is going to be a little surprise, a little sort of surprise coming in from Team Destiny right there. We have waited for a long time for the team to actually pop off and see sort of this sort of a performance coming in from the side. But let's see. It's just this early stage of the game. Maybe Destiny can actually pull off a wonderful performance, a top 3 finish with at least 10 kills for themselves. In the meanwhile, the Team Extreme keeping an eye on the players of High Volt, and it looks like Assassin has been spotted out by Kazi. But no shots were traded between the two lads, both of them just collecting information and backing away. Kazi has the DP in his hands. 4x as well, might as well go for the spray onwards Assassin, but he's shooting at the wrong direction. Assassin is going to figure out where the shots are coming from, and Kazi is definitely going to face a little bit of a retaliation from the players of High Voltage. But for now, Assassin, he backs off just for a second though. In the meanwhile, on the other side, Smart taking on the players of Vibes, and CJ managed to find an open.
Again, the showcasing the perfect gameplay. Assassin on the other side spots down Liquid on the other side, just surviving on just 1 HP, and somehow he managed to take down one, but he goes down, and Assassin tries his level best, to secure that one crucial kill, but White, the final player, probably in his here, and he's here inside Watchtower to take down Liquid, but Ozzy, okay, he secured the kill of one player of Elementrix, but Rabin, he's the lone survivor of the team, and he has lot of job to do because he has lot of pressure on his shoulders. He is inside the center, inside the safe zone. That's the good thing. But the other stuff like taking some fights, trade it off, and get some cover fire, that's not the case for this particular lad.
As you said, I mean, it is definitely not the case for Probeen right now. Last solo player surviving for his team. He is in a really bad position right now, surrounded from every single direction, and has been spoiled out as well by the players of Elementrix, by the players of High Voltage as well. They know exactly where he is, but over on the other side, look at this Batmop still trying to find an opening for themselves, trying to get inside the city, trying to find cover. It's not going to be an easy job. Players are pinned down in the shoreline with the players from the side of Let's Go having surrounded them, and Skylight Gaming as well. So two players from the side of Bad Cops, Marsky and Spicer, are completely pinned down. Heaven and Leon looking to find an opening. In the meanwhile, damage is definitely going to be dished out from the backline as well. Leon with a grenade. This one is going to be tossed out to the first floor, although Marsky's nade can dish out a lot of damage, but it went out inside the house right there. And Leon was just lucky enough to dodge the damage from the utility being dished out by the players of Bad Cops. Skylight Gaming, I want to see how they're going to find an opening in a situation like this. Heaven and Chari still focusing on that utility, and Chari with a wonderful grenade and a Molotov Maski. No way he comes out alive of that one. Bad Cops, their numbers are going to be cut short, and the team is going to be down to just 3 players.
Not looking good for this particular team. Bad Cops is try again, just throwing some molly, just lobbing some molly on top of the players of Skylight Gaming. But on the other side, unable to find an opening in this particular compound. But we can see that Ali, he's also on the back line. So Spicer knocked out Shari with a small top. Finally finds an opening, but Heaven's just going to revive his teammates, and I can see the teams are not aggressive towards Skylight Gaming, and I don't know, maybe the reason is they don't have the man advantage right there.
Maybe that's gonna be the thing that's keeping them from charging in towards the players of Skylight Gaming. But let's see what is exactly is gonna happen as this fight is gonna break down. Bad Cops, they are in a really bad position right now. But over on the other side, I mean, Let's Go is another squad that Bad Cops and Skylight Gaming, both of the squads, will have to worry about. Meanwhile, Let's Go, they are really patient with when exactly they want to engage in this situation. Heaven still looking to move forward, but there is going to be a bit of a challenge. Sorry, confirmation of the kill on towards Spicer is going to be there, and back off the down to the last 2 players. Heaven with a nade is going to look to take down Ale, who is hiding quite close to the shore lines, but this nade is going to fall really short of reaching its target. And Skylight Gaming, they decide to back off now.
Perfect decision from the side of Skylight Gaming because they already secured some kills. And now we can see that the players are also moving inside the circle. That they are not inside the circle. They are going to face some of the damage from the season. But right now, Leon he received a lot of damage, and that's not good spot hiding behind the truck. On the other side, Heaven is also there to give some cover fire to his teammate. Spikey on the other side knocks down Lord in a very particular spot, and I don't think that the revival is going to be possible right now. Ekta Esports revival is going to be there. Now they have a good control of this compound.
Well, they do have good control of this compound, as you said, but Gyate needs to be careful. Ekta Esports, they did lose out on one of their players. I mean, in the sense that one of the lads was knocked out, but he has been revived. Priority number 1 is to heal up before you try and engage to another fight out there. Look at this. Ekta Esports managed to find an opening again. The revenge play coming into action from the side. Skylight Gaming looking to charge in, move inside the circle, but over on the other side, way out. Zayton taking out the players of PN Crew, which is quite a surprise. Sword getting the kill confirmation that PN Crew in an instant, just a blink of an eye, the entire squad is going to be eliminated. Quite an impressive performance from the squad away out Satan, but they still have to get inside the circle, and the position that they're in right now, it's quite open, quite exposed, so it's not going to be an easy rotation for them to make. In the meanwhile, Skylight Gaming, as they try and move in, they come across the players of Triku Nepal, who are definitely going to be looking to cause trouble for the squad.
Certainly are. They certainly are. All the others, they can't get caught down. Tesla just hiding behind it. Switch. He connected to the shot right now. Unable to do that. That's not the case. His vision has been blocked on the other side. Cop Black finally found an opening on Heaven, and they are here for revenge. Black also lobbed that one grenade, but that was not enough to finish off Heaven and to secure that kill. Right now, every single team is inside the circle except Satan. But look at the position of Uzo, right? He's so far away from his team Elementrix. Maybe it's 2+1 split, and it might work out in their favor. But we all know sometimes these type of strategies backfire.
Yeah, as you said, sometimes strategies like this might just backfire, and it is going to be a tough situation for the team to deal with. But let's see. Moving forward in this game, as we do have again the players of Skylight Gaming split up in a 3-1 formation, and Triku Nepal, they have Leon pinned down, but they have to worry about the squad. The three remaining members of the side of Skylight Gaming closing in from the back. They might just be able to take control of the compound where Bunny is heading, and then Triku Nepal, they're going to be in a world of trouble. But majority of the teams, we do see them towards the southern and the southwestern, part of the circle right now, holding close to the edge. The center control has been taken, although by the players of Team Extreme and Team Destiny find themselves in a really comfortable position if they manage to get the rotation before the players of Cinema Arts actually go for a challenge. And as we were talking about it, the teams that are hiding in the city of Malta right now are going to be really happy with how the circle has moved with the shift.
Yeah, how the circle just panned out is always between right now just favoring the teams who are holding the Milta area. Right now Harame, one player got knocked out of the one particular team, but Team Element is also coming up in action, taking down some players. Black Cops is not a good situation for them. They lost one player, I think, so it's only one player surviving from their side. Havoc, his still confirmation is already there. Way out Satan doing a lot of job right now, securing some kills from a different team. Harame on the other side, they are in a very difficult spot. They are just outside of the safe zone as well as dealing with the team of High Voltage. Meanwhile, Bad Cop take an exit at 13th position without securing a single point.
Well. Talk about getting a single point, or in fact, not getting a single point. Vibes, they will be taken out as you mentioned, and Team Destiny, although on the other side, are going to be falling play zone out of all things. In the meanwhile, Elementrix engagement against players pick the esports, but he almost found that opening for his team, almost secured the kill and ran to save, but he was taken down. Viking is going to be right next to his team. Spirit and MR5 is running into a compound where the teammate was just taken out. It kind of feels like a bad decision right now. The team is going to be completely pinned down. They are blowing up the vehicles for themselves. But how long is this team going to survive in a pinned out position? On the other side, talk about getting pinned out. Through Nepal, they are going to feel the pressure of Skylight Gaming in a few short moments. Leon is definitely taking those shots on 3 lads right of him inside the squad house. That is just a job to delay any sort of rotation coming in from the squad of Triku Nepal. In the meanwhile, in the backlines, his teammates are going to try and see if they can create a little bit of a chaotic situation for the rest of the squad. But look at this, High Voltage are going to be forced out. Destiny taking multiple fights at the same time, and that is going to be a high pressure situation. Cinema Arts, they go for a charge right now. One lad, he is quite low, so they're going to heal up before they try and re-engage. Aruz, he takes another nade to the face from too high, but this one is going to be tossed outside, and most Mars, they go for the charge inside the shack. Again, Sasuke is going to be knocked out, but Farid is going to be there right behind him.
Oh no.
This fight is breaking out between these two squads. The lad inside the shack is quite healthy. he should be able to clutch it out, and he actually does. Just absolutely destroying the entire squad of Cinema Arts. It is going to be Haskell. Aruz is still knocked out, but still coming out on top in that fight was such a good finish coming in from Team Destiny. Impressive performance in that situation.
That was way more difficult fight. Still, Destiny somehow managed to win that. But on the other side, look at that Bunny. This fight is level with stakes down too, and very low HP. Somehow he still has those high hopes left. Joker just spraying down some random shots on top of the stairs. I don't think the revival is going to be there, but Bunny he's still holding that particular angle right now, just healing himself up. Joker just reviving his teammates because right now they have to move inside. Only 10 seconds left, but Bunny jumped off from the house, and that was not a good decision. He goes down by the Leon, and finally, the position the Leon was holding, that was awesome because he was providing a lot of cover to his teammates. Victor Nepal lost one player. Bunny did an amazing job, to be honest, but they have a lot of stuff to work on, and that is, first of all, you have to move inside the circle. Victor Nepal, right now, the players are in a split up formation, but still, they are just moving inside the circle. Arame doing a lot of stop showcasing the perfect aggression, taking down some shots, getting some knocks, but also losing some individuals too.
Well, let's see. I mean, everyone is losing out on their players right now. Ekta Esports, 2 lads down. Yante and Spikey are the only ones left to fight out of this situation for their team. They are going to try and go for revive for their teammates, but we out Satan in the meanwhile are going to be forced out of this game. And as you said, majority of the teams are definitely losing out on a lot of their players, and that's all thanks to this open area situation that we have in front of us. Rame, I thought they were going to get taken out as soon as they ran into that shack, but they're still surviving inside the top 8 right now. But let's see, Skylight
Yeah.
Gaming try to move Trikuru Nepal, Slipknot, along with his teammate, thrown out quite close to the players of Let's Go, and I believe they have to score it out. Because Dipin was definitely taking a lot of shots towards the players of Skylight Gaming, making a lot of noise, and that is not going to be nice for them to do. As Dipin is going to take shots from the backline quite low. He's going to try and take out Ale, but Ale runs towards the right, and Dipin now just has to guess where exactly his opponent is going to be on the other side of the scope. Meanwhile, his teammate is knocked out. Dipin is going to be the last player surviving for the side of Trikuru Nepal. Moving forward is going to be a challenge. Ale gets up,
Oh no.
takes him down as well. Let's go. They get a few kills for themselves, and Trikuru Nepal, they're going to be taken out on the 8th position. But this stage, look at this. This is going to be incredible. Harami
yes!
in a world of trouble, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Harami, they're going to be forced to take an exit. I want to see who, in fact, got that kill. Spikey got the kill of MR5, Viking, and the rest of the lads, they were knocked out. They just got finished off. But Spikey, that was a nade from the gods themselves, just taking down the entire squad of Ramen down to top 4 teams, 11 players still surviving. Team Extreme City with a massive advantage in this final situation.
Yeah, but on the other side, Destiny and Elementary to take an exit that is different player position respectively. But look at that. The revival to Azi is not going to be an easy task. It is out in an open area. The smoke cover is already there. But look at that. The team, Ekta is also there. Skylight Gaming is also there. We all know that 2 players surviving from the side of Skylight Gaming, which secured 1-1 kill for themselves. But look at that. Ekta Esports miracle. He's just hiding behind. He's just hiding inside the shack. And we all know one grenade can finish you off. But you still have a lot of cover to work with.
Well, let's see. I mean, as you said, one grenade can actually dish out a lot of destruction on any of these teams. Skylight Gaming, the players group together out in the open. Leon and Joker, a hyper situation for these lads. 4 kills secured by the entire team. So I believe they are going to take an exit with a decent number of points, at least 12 points coming from this game. In the meanwhile, Team Extreme, Nopsang was taken out. He has been revived. He has healed up as well. Dipesh and Ozzy in the front lines though, and Joker from the side of Skylight Gaming is going to be taken down by Gyante from Ekta Esports. They have scored out Leon as well, but Leon's kill is going to be picked up by the players of Let's Go. Now, it is going to be a really interesting situation to see exactly how the chicken dinner is going to be secured, but one thing is for sure, the game is going to be, the final fight is going to be between the players of Extreme and the players of Ekta Esports, as there it is, Let's Go. They are going to be taken out. A good performance by the players of Let's Go. 7 kills secured from this game. We're down to the top 2 team 4 vs 3 situation. Let's see. Extreme, they are out in the open, although players of Ekta Esports do have concrete cover for themselves, but it is going to be the position of Spikey on the flank that is going to be detrimental to Extreme's chicken dinner dreams in this match. Nopsang going for the charge, and it is going to be a high risk situation for him. Spiky definitely has the information of exactly where Nopsang is going to be. In the meanwhile, the fish, I'm sorry, taking shots on the other two as the blue team is closing in from the backlines. Extreme Kazi is going to go down as Gyante is going to find the open that his team needs. Now, Miracle, Gyante, and Spiky, they're going to start to move forward, running towards the players of Team Extreme. Absolutely fearless. They know exactly how they want to secure this fight. But Nopsang with his grenade can't change everything. It's going to be quite close to Miracle, but not enough damage being dished out. For Rauno and take it down instantly down to a 3 versus 2 situation. But it is going to be a 4 versus 2 as there is going to be a revive on towards Kazi, and Gyante goes down as well.
No.
Last player remaining from the side of Ekta Esports, Spiky, 1 versus 4. Absolutely no possibility for him to clutch it out unless he pulls off the short here play. Speaking out, he is taking a lot of damage right now. And Nopsang going for the charge. Let's see who gets that final kill, but nothing is going to change. Spiky is finally going to be shut down, and the chicken dinner goes towards the players of Team Extreme.
Yeah, Kazi is the one who secured the final kill. But you know what? I just want to mention one thing, and that is Team Extreme. Someone managed to secure a second dinner, but they were the first two teams, right? Team Extreme and the Ekta Esports who were holding the Milta Island, the Milta area basically. And these were the last two teams in the final circle up against each other. But Team Extreme, that amazing performance, it all comes down to that synergistic play and just not over aggressing onto your opponent because they have that cover, and as well as they just more towards the play zone, very very close to the play zone, and that's why they literally played so perfectly and won the first second of the day.
Exactly, as you mentioned, I mean, these were the first two teams to take control of that Menta area for themselves. Ekta inside the city, and Extreme just holding towards the northwest, a few compounds towards the northwest edge of the Milta city, and they stayed there for a while. And then Extreme were the first ones to move in, abandon that position because there was a lot of pressure being put upon them by the players of Ekta Esports. A decision that actually worked out in their favor. But looking at the MVP of this game, it is going to be Ale from the side of Let's Go, and it is absolutely impressive. He played. His entire team had 7 kills and 100% kill contribution by Ale. 7 kills secured, 727 damage dished out, 24 minutes survival time. Coming into the top 3, that was impressive as well from this squad.
Yeah, and you know what? Why Ale has the highest amount of kill? Because every single time he was on a roll to go for a flank and will collect a lot of information and to capitalize on that information, and that's why he just spots out 1 or 2 individuals, then he just knocks them down and collects some 3 kills. That's why he was so good. 0 assists from his side, but still they secured some decent amount of points from this particular match.
Well, let's see, as you said, they have accumulated a decent amount of points from this match, but Let's Go. I mean, they weren't really interested. I believe they are still going to be making a push forward inside the top 16, but Team Extreme, they have dug themselves out of the grave that they were in for this game. Right now, after this match, moving into the 14th position, and since they have 4 more matches remaining, Team Extreme will just keep moving forward inside the standing. But talking about the other amazing players inside the match, we do have Spiky from the side of Ekta Esports, the last player surviving for his team. 5 kills secured, 755 51 damage, survival time of 26 minutes. We have Zord from way out Satan and CJ from the side of Cinema Arts. Cinema Arts did a wonderful job going with, I believe they got 2 squad wipes and in an impressive way as well. And then they were just taken out and tried to go for a fight against the players of Destiny. As we have Hesped right here with 21 utilities used.
As just mentioned earlier, that Cinema Arts, eliminated 2 squads. The summer masters collect 7 total kill points, but Destiny was there. This team was there to end and to decide where are they going to decide their destiny, basically. But let's have a look at the match ranking. We have Team Extreme with that second dinner with total 25 points on their name. Ekta Esports not that far behind, 21 points, but Let's Go, as I just mentioned earlier, they secured a decent amount of points from this particular match with Skylight Gaming, 8 points onto their name and 4 total kill points. Cinema Art with that 1 placement point with 7 kill points. So now they are working on their kill department and it is looking very strong.
Well, yeah, as you mentioned, it is looking quite strong, the kill department for the squad. But again, talking about upsets from this game, and there are quite a lot of them. YT Sports, BN Crew, High Voltage Element, more teams that we did not expect to get taken out this early inside the match. And as you mentioned, I mean, due to the fact that most of the teams were able to pick up those kills for themselves, they are sitting on the first page of the leaderboard. Element picks on the second, just 6 points to their name, and then there's a massive drop, so a difference of 4 points, sorry, between them and True Nepal, who are sitting on the 10th with 2 points for High Voltage, BN Crew walking away with just 1 point. So quite an I have to say with these from these four teams. Although this was the fight that started it all, and it was sort of I have to say a little bit based on RNG, but OK Shata, they tried the level best to find an opening. In the end, Hayabusa was just cornered, surrounded from every single direction, and finished off.
Shota, they were the first team to take elected, but this fight was the best because every single time we saw that he just got stuck in a 1v2 situation. Despite of that, he was so patient, and his skills and his aim was so precise that every single time, whenever he sees these type of situations, he always won that 1v2 or 1v1 duels. But this was the final fight in which we saw teams shining bright. But Ekta Esports on the first position, as I just mentioned earlier, that one good game, they will lead the charge. And yup, they are at the first position with 208 points.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one good game, and have already taken over the first from Jan Mara, who haven't moved down on the second. But this is not going to matter much. I mean, these teams are already in a one for BN Crew. That wasn't under performance from them. Why? But again, inside the top 8, pretty much secure, moving on to the finals. So I want to have a look at that second page of the standings where everything, where dreams are going to, well, either continue to be dreams until they become a reality eventually in the finals, or they're going to be completely shattered. And look at this. So a few changes here that we do witness. Moving to the 14th position. Let's Go, who find themselves right on the 16th position with 98 points. Let's Go. They need to make sure that they get at least one chicken dinner today with 10 kills, that they can move in a decent enough position. At this point, if you are sitting inside the top 12, if you take down King Nepal somehow, that is it. That is your pick to the finals. Otherwise, teams like Harame, Destiny, Bad Cop, they might just be able to snatch that position, snatch the top 16, snatch the final slot away from you.
Rame, as you just mentioned about them, like they are just 3 points far behind from the 15th position. So yeah, they are doing a lot of job. But Destiny, this is the only team who has that chicken dinner onto their name, but still sticking on the third page of the leaderboard. But they are showcasing that promising gameplay with 96 total points. Still 4 games left for this particular team. Still have high hopes, and let's see how this team is going to perform in the other 4 matches. Next match is going to be Miramar, and we all know that Bolt Action and the Marksman Rifle is the king in the Miramar map.
Definitely, as you mentioned, I mean, the Bolt Action, the Marksman Rifles, I mean, they are quite crucial, but the meta, we have seen it go around everywhere. I mean, so we go to the DMRs, the double ARs as well. But before we actually jump into the action on Miramar, we're going to take a very short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Keeping it real. I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. Got a good
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the PUBG Mobile National Championship for the Nepal region, brought to you by the Oppo F19 Pro. Book up your fun with the Oppo F19 Pro. This is Super Johnny, joined by Phoenix Divan right next to me, and we are about to jump into map number 2 for today. That is going to be the action breaking down on the map of Miramar.
And yep, we all know that this is the biggest map in the PUBG Mobile right now. Now, the important part is yesterday we saw like
Yeah,
we witnessed some fights after the second zone. Teams were losing some individual, and that was Elementrix, I think, so who secured the first kill in the Miramar match. I'm talking about yesterday, but today the teams are different. The playing part obviously it is going to be different, and the outcome it's going to be different.
yeah.
But if I'm talking about outcome in the previous match, those teams who were holding the perfect area from the starting, they were present in the end, and I'm talking about Ekta and Team Extreme who secured second in the previous match. If this is going to happen, if history is just going to repeat itself, then I might just predict that if any teams locate or any team situate them themselves in a particular area or an angle, or we can say a city, then they might win chicken dinner.
Well, I mean, there is going to be a possibility, and we do expect that to happen, as you mentioned. I mean, having a good position inside the circle is always going to be important, but let's see if that is going to happen. We are about to jump right into the action, ladies and gentlemen. Map of Miramar, match number 2 of the last day of the semifinals. It is live right now, and well, it is going to be quite interesting to see how the teams are going to tackle the situation. Like, there's the trajectory of the plane leaning towards the western side of the map, starting from the trailer park area and going all the way through Chumasera towards the southern edge of the main. There's just one island. Apart from that, there's going to be the Lost Eagles. So the main sort of landmass of Miramar towards the southernmost edge, south of Los Leones. So any team that likes to go towards the side of Impala, towards Junkyard, El Azhar, they are the squads that are going to be in trouble in this round. And it's going to be quite interesting to see exactly how the teams sort of take these challenges. We do have Team Destiny taking an early exit right now, and it looks like they're going to be heading towards the city of La Cobriera. It's going to be quite interesting to see where the circle is going to be as well, because that is the thing that well makes up most of the challenge of this map. In the meanwhile, how many squads are there? I mean, it's I believe 3 squads heading towards the side of Los Angeles. One of them is bound to go towards the side of Impala. One might just be taking an exit towards Puerto Palacio. That is going to be the squad of Ace looking to head to Puerto Palacio. But the circle, it's going to be towards the southwest, ladies and gentlemen. And as I have been saying, it has been a while since we have casted a circle towards the side of Chumasera. So it's going to be really important to see exactly how they're going to tackle this sort of terrain for themselves. It's quite open. Only in the southern and the western sides you will find those mountain. The rest of the areas are pretty much, well, they aren't flats exactly, but just small ridges, not that high, not too much cover, not too much high ground advantage for yourself. So it is definitely going to be a challenge nonetheless. But talking about other things, let's see. Okay, Shada on our screens, the team took a really early exit in the last game. In fact, they were taken out within the first 4 minutes of the match starting, and now finally they might just be able to get the start for themselves. As we do have Hayabusa already with the Mini 14 and the 6x scope on it. Espresso also applied on that DMR, so he will definitely be taking down a lot of players or dishing out a lot of damage. In fact, with that weapon in his hands, his teammates are waiting for him to loot up so they can start moving in. Over on the other side, though, we do have Silent Gaming as well. Do expect them to get a decent enough performance to push themselves into the top 5, but it is Silent Gaming. If anyone can make a jump of 3 positions, 4 positions in every single game, do really well, get those 20 plus points. In fact, not 20 plus points, but 23-point plus matches. I mean, it is going to be this deep. And I believe, I mean, one thing that's going to be required from the side of Skylight Gaming is to be for the over aggression from the squad to be turned down just a little bit. Otherwise, everything else, Skylight Gaming, they're doing a really wonderful job. But looking on the other side, you have Cinemarch again. So right now, I mean, the early fight that is going to break out, it is going to be okay. Shata against the players of Skylight Gaming, and all out of nowhere, Skylight Gaming go for a charge. Reckon is going to take it down. Territory route in the back lines. 3 versus 3 is where the numbers are exactly. But I mean, if the players of Okishata have a little bit of utility on themselves, they might just be able to find an opening against this team, and they might be able to take another individual out. But meanwhile, Hayabusa is gonna find an opening, as we did see Tari was taken down, but the kill has been secured. Reckon is taken out, and Okishata they're gonna look to back off.
Yep, and again, Hayabusa's final player, right, surviving in a very difficult spot. But Dalion is controlling that M249 spray. He has it 4 times on that on M249 on that M249, but still Tom has to knock out one. But okay, that's a headshot from the side of King. Knocked out Dalion, and King just moving towards his teammates so that he can revive his teammate. And this is going to be a risky movement from his side, but still you have to take those risky movements. Now these are the only 2 players surviving in this particular area. The backup is here, Mr. Avi. He is here with his Ronnie truck, but I don't think so that he can survive for too long because every single player of Skylight Gaming is moving towards them.
Well, let's see. Skylight Gaming, they're going to look to finish off the entire squad, and this is going to be quite unfortunate for the squad of Okishata. 2 games back to back to early exit. Look at this, Joker going for the charge, is going to find the opening. Hayabusa has the revived, hiding behind the truck. The shot will come in Hayabusa's direction. It's going to be outnumbered and finished off as well. Skylight Gaming, amazing performance, just managing to win that fight. We talk about winning fights. Victor Nepal looking to destroy the players of Ace. They have already secured 1 kill for themselves. The Peixe is going to be pinned down, just hiding in the decade, waiting for the players to charge in his direction, and there it is. Ace, they're going to be finished off as well. All kills being secured by the players of the Rikuru Nepal.
Again, for the second time, this particular team taking exit at the 16 position, Rikuru Nepal 2. Right now, they face an elimination. But if we talk about the circle, high voltage, they are inside the circle, they are in the center of the circle, and this might be their chance to secure a second dinner in this particular match, in this Miramar match. But look at the position, look at that Lost Leonis area. We have literally 3 teams in the Lost Leonis area, 1 team towards the southern side with a 3+1 split. Cops is also there. This particular team just moving towards the circle, just moving towards the center of the circle. They are rotating inside the circle, and these type of early rotation might help them. But I am concerned about this team, which is Harame. They are so far away from the play zone, and if they'll start moving inside the circle, if they start moving from the graveyard area, they might face some teams who might take key for them.
Well, let's see. I mean, as you mentioned, since they are the furthest away from the circle, there is going to be a possibility for gatekeeping against the squad of Harame. But slow rotations might just work out for them. You never know. In the meanwhile, Ops actually going for an interesting position, going towards the island of Lost Egos, I'm sorry. And it's going to be quite interesting to see exactly how they actually tackle this position. In the meanwhile, though, Lost Leon is still 2 teams holding that position. Cinema Arts, along with the players of Way Out Satan. And once the circle moves even more west, that is when these teams are going to face the challenge of how they want to move. Way outside and move towards the northern side, they're going to come across the players of the Influ, and that is not going to be an easy fight. If they move quite straight, then they might just get sandwiched between Cinema Arts and Skylight Gaming. And again, southern rotation, that is even out of question. Cinema Arts are already holding solid cover for themselves, but Way Out Satan moving in quite early, which might just be the thing that works out.
Might work out in their favor, as I mentioned earlier. But right now, look at the position of player Muffin. He is on top of the San Martin mountain, and he has a lot of information. Right now, Elementrix on the other side is moving towards the Montenegro area, and we all know that you will find lot of compounds, lot of different compounds out in that particular area. But still they're just holding out in the power grid area. If we talk about the circle, if we talk about the teams are moving inside the circle. They are not facing any type of problem, but some teams are engaging in some fights. And right now, we in crew haven't engaged in a single fight, and right now they are having a great outing out here without facing a single loss. So kind of a great start.
Well, let's see. I mean, so far as you mentioned, I mean, just not being part of engagement is the thing that is working out for the squad. But in the meanwhile, Mars, they were able to spot out the players the way outside. Sasuke was able to get a little bit of information of exactly where the opponents are moving. CJ is going to encounter the blue zone, but is falling back a little bit. I believe he's going towards a vehicle to pick up a vehicle for himself, and then the squad of Cinemarts are going to start moving in. But let's see. I mean, it is not going to be easy to get more than because, as you mentioned, all the squad of Arame now way out. Satan are the ones who will be in the in a really tricky position from where they can be gate kept and they might be facing a little bit of a challenge.
Let's go on the other side. They are also moving inside the circle, going from the bridge area, from the trenches, and controlling those individual compounds is also important. But I always look out for that one player, ALE, because he was always there for always in the front line, collect lot of information on that type of information. The team start rotating and start working on it, start basically capitalizing on that type of situation. But the important part is every single team's quite far away. Some teams are closer to each other, but still not taking a single fight, not exchanging any type of bullets, not taking down any type of individual. On the other side, we are looking the team high voltage. In the previous match, they managed to secure 3 to 4 total kill points, but I expect more from them.
Well, we do expect quite a lot from them, but look at this. The circle again moving south. Jumatera, Valadelmar, that is where all these teams are closing in right now. And 2 of the squads have been eliminated quite early. We just have 40 teams left. Team Destiny holding the city of Valadelmar for themselves. So there are a few compounds just north of Valadelmar on top of the mountains. That is where I believe Destiny need to stop and they need to hold control of those compounds for themselves. If they move further in, they're going to encounter a lot of challenges and they might just be the center of attention in the middle of the fight. So, in the meanwhile, back up with them, being quite cheeky, just holding the position of Los Higos. But they don't realize if the system moves north, then they're going to be in a pickle. They will have to find High voltage running towards the players of Vibe. They do take a lot of damage, but Havoc find an opening. Assassin is going to be really low. Jigga still hiding in the barn right here. And Havoc with a nade might just be able to find another opening for themselves. Praveen in the backlines there. Vibes in a world of trouble. Jigga takes a lot of damage, although Malik has been rebounded. His HP is not there. He's going for the heals, but will he be able to heal up enough before these two lads charge in his direction? No. Malik is asked to position before trying to take the fight, and in the meanwhile, he's going to be taken out. Praveen, the last player surviving for the team, is going to be left with just one option, and that is going to be to keep his head down low and try and run away, try and avoid the players of high voltage. But with the grenade, Praveen is going to try and see if he can find a knock before the players of high voltage close the distance between him and the squad. 1 versus 4 situation. Absolutely no way
no.
Vibes they make it out of this alive.
Look at that. Skylight Gaming literally have an advantage. They have a lot of information, have that high ground advantage into their favor. Shari very close to the players of high voltage on the other side. Joker literally spots down 3 players on the other side. Shari finally knocks down one. There's a lot onto him, and he is just moving forward. Right now, if he's gonna lob one grenade onto the players of high voltage, he might get another knock. But at this situation, Praveen has a good advantage and he can do a lot of job from there. Shari, he just compromised his position and he received some amount of damage. On the other side, Extreme finally got a revive fight. Now he's just going to heal himself up, but Skylight Gaming slowly and steadily closing up the distance.
Well, as you said, I mean, they are slowly and steadily closing up the distance moving forward, but it is going to be an interesting third party situation, and this might just be the thing that works out in the favor of Praveen. If Skylight Gaming are able to eliminate the players of high voltage, they won't know where Praveen is hiding, and that just might be the thing that helps them escape. Skylight Gaming putting up all this pressure on these lads right now. Heaven in a really interesting position from the backlines as well. We did see Leon sort of deliver a little bit of pressure on towards the players of high voltage, but going with the utility, just trying to make sure that Skylight Gaming they don't have an easy entry into this barn right now. Assassin just quite close to the window. Extreme Havoc and Aussie holding the backlines for their team. The attention of the players from the side of high voltage is to be split between the players of Skylight and Praveen's position. But Praveen, he's not going to go for a charge. Skylight Gaming, in the meanwhile, Joker dishing out a lot of damage on towards Aussie, dropping him down to 50% HP. On the other side, the device is going to be taken down by the players of Way Out Satan.
lot of fights panning out in different location of this Miramar map. Heaven X finally lobbed one grenade, but he just lobbed an overcooked grenade and unable to find a single knock. But right now, Team High Voltage they got stuck in this plan right now, and PN Crew also coming to action. Sandesh knocked out one player of Way Out Satan. Shenik also goes down. This is not looking good for this particular team. But look at the position of one player of Skylight Gaming. He is providing a lot of cover to his teammates from the height advantage, from the mountain area. Praveen on the other side, he is also he's also got stuck in this one compound, and he just praying. And the bad thing is, every single team, all the three teams in the Chumasera area, they are almost 300 meters far away from the safe zone.
Yeah, as you said, 300 meters away from zone, and it's gonna be quite interesting to see exactly what is gonna happen in a situation like this. But I mean, the challenge now becomes to end this fight as fast as possible, and then try and re-engage after taking an entry inside the circle, as you said. Praveen in the back lines, he's going to wait for an opportunity. As soon as these players show their backs to him, he's going to try and pick up a few kills. You don't look at him in the back line. High voltage in a really troublesome situation. One lad has been knocked out. Skylight Gaming going for the charge right now. Leon from the back lines is closing in as well. Although the revive has come in, Havoc is going to be taken down, but Leon falls down and gets knocked out. Skylight Gaming in a really bad position right now. One of their lads being taken out for free, but Blue Zone is closing in. That is going to dish out a little bit of damage, but damage
Oh
is going to be
no.
delivered with a grenade, and Aussie just deleting the players of Skylight Gaming in an instant. One grenade, and the entire squad is going to be eliminated. Praveen is still hiding in that house. Finally, he's going to be taking an exit.
Oh
Finds an
no.
opening. Aussie is going to be taken down, and Praveen needs to secure that kill right now. Aussie falls inside a little bit of cover, just goes behind the wall, and Praveen, as he goes for the charge, takes a lot of damage. Blue Zone is here, and Praveen is going to be taken out by the Blue Zone. The kill being denied to the players of High Voltage. But High Voltage, I believe they're going to be just happy to be able to survive this sort of a surprise, an unpleasant surprise that was bestowed
Yeah.
upon them. And as we are talking about it, 12 teams, 42 players still surviving in the game, and the circle just moves to the southern mountains.
Ozzy on this side goes down by the play zone. I think so. Praveen got his kill, but right now on the other side, Team High Voltage they're just moving forward with the three-man lineup. This is still looking good for them. On the other side, we can see that Havoc he just goes down by the play zone, and we all know the play zone just going to dish out a lot of damage. And the important part is that a constant amount of damage you have to face every single time whenever you are inside the blue zone. On the side, look at the position of the players of Way Out Satan. Frankie and Zord, both the players are inside one compound. On the other side, I can see that Elementrix, one single player, Ozu, just dishing out a lot of damage onto the players of Destiny, taking down two players, confirm one kill, and Frankie is taking a fight from a different location.
Well, let's see. As you said, different position by Frankie. Could be a really unpleasant surprise for the players of Cinema Arts, but it is a 2 versus 4 situation for the players of Way Outside. If they don't have numbers to actually force anything in this fight, meanwhile, Team Destiny, they're going to be eliminated by the players of Bad Cops and Cinema Arts. They are looking to go for a charge right now. Frankie is going to be further on the wall. Molotov has been charged out by Frankie. Today, this is coming in for the players of Cinema Arts. They still need to go in. CJ with the MP49 is spams the shots, spam the weapon, and he is going to be able to find an opening way out. Satan down to just one last player surviving, and I don't think Zod is going to be surviving for long. It's a 1v4 situation. He's either going to be taken down by the utilities or by the players themselves after the charge a few seconds later. Look at CJ, he's going in, runs into the fire. He's going to take a lot of damage, but that is not going to affect anything. That's not going to change anything.
What?
No, Cinema, 3 players taken down
Oh
by the
no!
Molotov, and it was wow. And crew just capitalizing on the opportunity. They were able to secure all those kills.
That was that was a smart move, Johnny. To be honest, he and Q they got 3 kills for free. But right now, if we talk about this particular team, Bad Cop, they have that cover of those ridges on the other side. Elementrix just cuts down the players of Elementrix, and Rana, bad. He decided that he was not in a good position. He just falls back on the side. P and Q, the team who literally surprised Bad Cops and eliminated him from the hobby. But The important part is some of the teams they are in a very, very, very difficult spot. Look at the position of Harami Spirit. He is inside the water.
Well, as you said, Harame Spirit is going to be inside the water right there, and survival is not going to be an easy thing for him to pull off right now. It is going to be a really, really interesting situation for the players of Bad Cops because there are a few free kills right behind them, but they are going to be put under a lot of pressure by the players of Elementrix who have the high ground in this fight. Sus trying to move in from the blue zone is going to try and find a little bit of safety for himself, but it's going to be a bit of a challenge as the players of Bad Cops are quite close. Elementrix being split up like this, it might just be the thing that backfires upon the squad.
We can see that Shante, what's down one there in the open audience? It just goes down by the blue zone, got knocked out. I don't think survival is going to be there. Shante just somehow just spraying in an open area, and we haven't secured that one kill in Inca Esports. Right now, this is playing on the edge of the safe zone, which is not looking good. It's Elementrix. His kill has been secured by the play zone, so that's the good thing. On the other side, if you look at the team, they have the advantage. They have that high ground advantage. But Elementrix, one by one, their teammates going down, the individuals going down. But let's go. Tapa is there to knock out one player. Assassin on the other side faced an elimination. So as a Steve, high voltage got eliminated at the 9th position. Season on the other side, he was the one to secure the final kill of Harame. 8th position for Harame.
Well, Rame also being forced to take an exit early. Although in this game, it looks like the crew are doing a wonderful job. 8 kills secured by the squad, and all 4 players are still surviving. And meanwhile, though, Ekta Esports, they're gonna get one of their own lads knocked out in the open, and it's not gonna be easy for the players to move forward right now. Let's go, trying to move in as well, just on the northwestern edge of the circle right now. And the biggest challenge for them right now is going to be the squad of Nepal, who are right beside them. Both the teams will look to find an opening for themselves, but in the meanwhile, Bad Cops, they just do secure the kill, I believe, from the side of Ekta Esports. And Ekta is down to a 3-man roster, but so is Elementrix as they get another one knocked out. 2 players moving forward inside the circle. Inception managed to find an opening and managed to find a little bit of a safety. The revenge play is going to be there as Inception is going to get revenge for Liquid, going down a few seconds early, and he is going to take Kappa down. BN Crew just securing more kills. Crew Kill is going to be the one who's going to be drowning inside the water, denying the kill to the players of BN Crew. Ekta Esports completely pinned down behind this rock.
And 2 players are literally sticking to each other, very close to each other. One. If any player just spots them down, they both goes down. So as the team on the other side, Inception, the kill confirmation is here. We still have 7 teams alive, and P and Crew, they have a hold on Venera map. On the other side, Bad Cops also doing a lot of job, making sure to stay safe, and this is popping out those moves to make an extra cover from the sidelines. Now, Bad Cops, I think so. They are okay. They are just 150 meters far away from the zone. Even every single team is far away from the play zone. There's not a single team inside the play zone. So this is going to be a difficult task for every single team. If any team starts an early rotation, if they start moving inside the circle a bit early, they'll get punished. If they start the rotation a bit late, they'll also be punished.
Well, they might just get punished, but look at this. Talk about punishes and let's go. They are definitely going to try and punish the players of Elementrix. Yuzu is going to be the first one to go down. And now it is just up to Inception to help his team survive the late game stages. As Let's Go still quite hungry for those kills, still just constantly being the cliff side and trying to see if they can find an opening. But OG Lord, he's going to be left behind by his teammates to make a run for himself. In the meanwhile, for charge takes shots from the backlines, and Rana is going to be the one finding the opening. But Inception, before he went for the push right there, made sure that he revived his teammates, Mr. Yozu, and that is going to be the reason that Elementrix is still present inside this match. And because of that, they get an extra point. They get, in fact, 2 extra points for themselves as Ekta Esports takes an exit.
Yeah, takes the next at the 7th position, and we just brought down to only 6 teams. Ozu inside the one shot. He's battling. I think going to do a heel battle. He will never move inside the circle because he is so far away from the circle on the other side. Let's go somehow find a great area for themselves on the other side. He season, PNQ season, knocked out one player of that Cops, and he is there to secure that kill too. Ayush is the reason just going to secure the kill for his teammate. Ayush is 25 meters far away from the safe zone, and he's just going to start rotating his app. But Muffin on the other side just some more damage. Season not stopping, takes out one, and Season secure that kill too. Bad Cops, he got eliminated at the sixth position.
Well, Bad Cops, they got taken out, but still a really good finish by the squad considering how the performances have gone in the past. Elementrix also forced to take an exit on the fifth right there. Down to 4 teams, 13 players still surviving. And look at PNQ, the domination coming in from the squad. We said it was an underperformance from the side in the last match. In this match, they are making sure that they cover up for the match on Erangel. 12 kills. Extreme is going to be eliminated. True Nepal, let's go. The only two teams left to challenge this domination that is being put on display by the players of PN Group, but they have the high ground. And just like Obi-Wan did to Anakin, these two squads are just about to get destroyed and burned to death. First one is going to be Gara taken down by Sandesh as he goes for a push on the pen. But this flank, it is going to be quite interesting because now from the other side they have to worry about but the pen is going to be caught completely off guard. Sandesh finding a free opening. That's going to be it. Trick Nepal in a lot of trouble. Bunny's last player surviving is going to be finished off as well. Down to a 4-3 situation. PN Crew versus Let's Go.
15 kills out in the name of PN Crew. On the other side, we can see that they have that advantage. They have every single player alive. On the other side, it's just 4v3 situation as was mentioned earlier. But if we talk about the winner ticket in the podcast, it's just evening players. But right now, PNQ, they might change their stance. And Legends is bursting down. Just want to burst down that one vehicle. Sandesh on the higher ground, spots down one. Ali, he's not firing a single bullet, but he switched on to a frag grenade. Might possible that frag grenade might give him a knock, but that's not the case.
Well, let's see. The nades, the utility being tossed by the players of Let's Go. OG Lord has taken a lot of damage, but Sandesh needs to be careful. He might just be caught out by Ale, and as I say, that the damage is going to be dished out. Sandesh is going to be dropped low, but that is not going to matter. OG Lord is still surviving. It's still a 4 versus 3 situation. Let's Go there trying the level best. Make sure that PN2, if they try and charge into the fight, they're not going to be healthy. But finally, an opening from Season as OG Lord is going to be taken down. It is down to a 4 versus 2. It's going to be up to Tesla and Ale to try and take on the entire squad of PN2. And Sandesh being a little too over-aggressive, a little too eager to finish this game off. Is going to take it down. Let's Go in a troublesome situation. Another knock 2 versus 2. It's going to be down to a 2v1 situation. 1v1 situation with barely any HP. And that is the thing that leads the squad of PN Crew to this chicken dinner. An impressive performance by the lineup. Let's see how many kills they get in total. It was 18 kills, 33 points coming in for the team.
Look at the damage. It's 2,560, basically 2,560 damage from the side of PNQ. If we talk about their overall ranking, they are at the 4th position out of total 24 teams. But the way they played, the way they were playing in this particular match was impressive. But I also want to talk about the team Ekta Esports. They got stuck behind that one rock on the shores, and they have no other option just play, just stay down, just got thrown down in that particular area. If they start moving, if they start rotating, they'll get punished. And at that situation, they were just holding and they're just praying that at least they will secure some good amount of placement points.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they did try the level best to do that, but let's see. I mean, PN Crew just doing a wonderful job in terms of the aggression, how they picked up those fights. And again, priority number 1 on Miramar after the rotation, right? Priority number 2 is going to be to rotate towards a high ground just in case the circle moves towards those hilly positions. And even if you are going to be sitting on the edge of the circle, the high ground advantage will help you secure those kills and secure a few extra points. And that is what PN Crew capitalized on the most in this match. But again, the question then becomes, what about the other squads? Because Let's Go again, consistent performance in the last game, top 3, top 2 in this match as well. The team, as I said, is definitely going to do wonders today in this match. But the MVP of this game is going to be the man who we were actually talking about before we started our show today. Sandesh from PNP, 9 kills, 2 assists.
Only 192 healing done by this lad. This is impressive. Again, total damage. He dished out 1,129. Out of total 2,500 damage from his team, this single player dished out 1,100 damage, and that is also impressive. But the important part is how many points does the team secure. If we talk about the Ekta Esports as well as Elementrix, they were also doing good. But Elementrix, they had no other option just to go for that heal battle.
Well, as you said, no other option just to go for that heal battle, and still, I have to say the insurance policy from the players of Elementrix, specifically Inception, with how he revived Mr. Yozu, then went absolutely YOLO because even they realized there was nothing more to do in that situation. They were pinned out in that track. Every single team inside the circle knew exactly where they were going to come from, and they were in a really bad position. But look at the match summary. It's just Sandesh and PN crew everywhere. Legend is in the match sitting with the
Wow.
most assists, 4. But Sandesh, most utilities, longest distance kills, 180 meters is a bit less on Miramar, but still, hey, he got those kills, right? Highest damage by Sandesh and the highest kills by Sandesh as well.
This, if we talk about this particular thing, like this showcase that how much experience and how much impact he literally dished out in this particular match. But if we talk about Trikru Nepal at the second position with 15 points, so as let's go, they have the same amount of points Trikru Nepal has. Now, the important point is Team Extreme and Bad Cop. They were decent. They were looking pretty confident in this particular match. That's why they share a good amount of points. So for Team Extreme, they have 10 points. In Bad Cop, they have 8. On the other side, Skylight Gaming not able to secure a single placement point, but still, focusing on those skill points.
Well, let's see. As you said, I mean, it is going to be quite interesting to see what the team focus on in the next match. As you said, I mean, there has to be a balance that needs to be maintained between the skills and the placement point of every single game. Although this match was sort of a letdown from the side of Ekta Esports, but then again, Ekta Esports, they are quite elastic in their performances. In the sense, after a bad game, we do see a really good one coming from Ekta Esports. So next match, maybe on Orangle, they're going to look to dominate once again. But let's look at this. The first finish again for the squad of OK Shata, and right after them, we saw Ace taking an exit.
This was not an ideal situation for Cinema Art because three players got knocked out by that one Molotov, and PNQ Sandesh was the one who just finished off things for Cinema Art. That was decent play from the side of the players of Bad Cause, but Season every single time he was there on the on the sidelines as well as taking down some individual. But Sandesh, he got knocked out in the final fight, but it was a 2v2 situation in that PNQ outshine and takes down the players of Let's Go. They tried a little bit going for those drone shot, but the health, that was the key to success.
Well. I mean, the key to success, I believe, and true, they have found it as well. 97 kills, 96 placement points, 193 points in total. Definitely looking at a possibility, putting themselves in a position from where they might just be able to take the first position away from Ekta Esports as well. There is not that big of a difference, just 17 points separating these two teams. It is really chaotic, even in the top 8 at this point. But again, as I always say, top 8 is not that interesting unless it's the finals. These teams are already moving to the finals. This is a semi-final stage, and this is where things really seem interesting, because look at that, even after having a good performance in this match, Let's Go is still sitting on that 16th position with 113 points. Victor Nepal, High Voltage Extreme, all these teams slowly and steadily are just keep moving forward, and the longer Let's Go is pinned down on that 16th position, the more trouble it is going to be for them to move forward, if just in case Harame actually takes them over, or maybe Destiny decides to pop off really nicely in a matchup.
Yeah, that was a point of concern for Team Let's Go and for Team Trikru Nepal too. But Bad Cops finally hitting that triple-digit mark, completing 100 total points, and they are at the 17th position. Now, look at the points of Destiny and Harame, literally sharing equal amount of total points, and the important part is these three teams still have a lot of chance, right? They still have three games left for themselves, and they can still turn the tables down. But the
Yeah.
distance as well as the journey is not going to be that easy because the numbers going down, the matches numbers are going down, and teams are showcasing the perfect amount of aggression.
Exactly. And talking about aggression, I mean, Bad Cops are also just doing a wonderful job getting a few kills for themselves as well. But before we jump to the next match, ladies and gentlemen, that is match number 3 for the day, we're going to take one more quick break. Just stay tuned, keep watching. We'll be right back after.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Cool. Once again, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PUBG Mobile National Championship for the
Uh,
Nepal region, brought to you by the Oppo F19 Pro. Woke up your fun with the Oppo F19 Pro. This is Super Johnny, joined by Felix Sivanch right next to me. Two matches for the last day of the semifinals are done. Now, just three more to go. The next one is going to be Wrangle, the second last Wrangle for today. Then we have a Stanok, and then in the end, it is going to be one last Wrangle for these teams. But with that being said, I believe the match is going to be live pretty soon. And Simanch, what do you think? What can we expect from the squads in this match?
I think so teams like Ekta Esports and PN Crew will shine again and they'll secure a lot of kills. But I have high expectations from Team Extreme too because in the previous Erangel match they secured decent chicken dinner in their favor. But if we talk about the playing path starting from the Lipovka area and then towards the western side of the Primorsk. Now again, as usual, every single time, whenever I predict the zone, it always just go towards the southern side, or we can say my prediction are always wrong. But again, I'm gonna do the same thing. I think so. Now the zone is just going to form towards the north side.
Well, let's see. I mean, maybe if the zone moves towards the northern sides, though, it is going to be quite interesting to see what exactly the rotation from the side of the squads are going to look like since the trajectory is heavily favoring the southern part of the map right now. But as the teams do start to drop black bad cops, they're going to look to move towards the no Repnoy containers once again. And also another interesting thing, for the second time today on the Rankle, we have 15 teams, not 16, 15 teams.
Oh, it's bad. Never expected this again. But you know what? How all the 15 teams are going to play, how they are going to play, that's the most important question. But again, as usual, my prediction is wrong. The zone is formed towards the western side of the map, and cops, they are not happy. For sure, they are not happy with this type of circle. So, as the player of Ace, because they are also pretty far away from the safe zone, but the Pufka area is kind of good. And we can see that too high Pratik, they are also towards that particular area. They'll find good loot, and it might possible they find one vehicle too, so that they can start rotating early. But look at the position of Skylight Gaming. Two players moving towards the Gatka area, and two players moving towards the southern side of the Gatka area.
Well, let's see. I mean, this western circle, I believe, is going to be moving towards the side of Gatka, only where the players of Skynet Game are going to feel really, really comfortable for a long time inside this match. But let's see. I mean, usually when we have circles like this, they tend to focus a little too heavily on those on that late game action in this game. And that is where I believe things get really, really interesting because now the teams are going to be required to be as safe as they can in the early game rotation. Although for the team of P and Crew, it is going to be really, really high pressure situation as they are on the north side. They're going to be moving towards the west quite earlier on in the match. Vibes again with the three-man roster, 2 games back to back, have to both take an early exit, but let's see what is going to happen in this matchup.
Yup, let's see. Too bad outing from the side of Vibes, and I again never expected, right? The fans never expected this type of performance from the side of Vibes, but Team High Voltage looting those individual compounds near to the school apartments area and collecting one we can say that the vehicle too.
Well, let's see. It is going to be quite interesting. High voltage, they are quite close to the players of Way Out State, and are in fact a player from the side of Way Out State, and that is going to be Zord. But there is a lot of distance between these squads, so unless shots are fired directly at someone, there is no possibility of any information from either side being leaked to the opponent. Meanwhile, though, Zord does need to be careful because if he actually does make himself visible to the players of high voltage, they are going to go for a punish, and it's already a three-man roster that Zord have entered this matchup with. So starting things off with a disadvantage, it's definitely going to be a thing that puts a lot of pressure on this team. Let's see how things are going to play out, though, in the early stages. Zord still focusing on gathering the loot for himself, and now finally has decided, I believe, to fall back towards his teammate.
That's a good decision, right? Regrouping with your teammates is always a good decision. But the important part is like not single team is engaging in any fight right now, despite the fact some of the players are pretty far away from the pack, looting down those individual compounds. And finally, after that split drop out, High Voltage decided that they are going to loot those school apartments as well as the school buildings, and they will find not decent, very good loot out there because school always provide you a lot of ARs and those level 2 kits out there. But Skylight Gaming, this could be their game. See this match, they were phenomenal, and I expect the same from this team in this particular match too. They left the Katka compound, and Joker sometimes running in an open area, it is a bit risky, but right now it is safe for them because there's not a single lad out there in the same compound.
Well, as you said, I mean, there's not a single lad present in the same compound. The team is definitely going to try and regroup as fast as possible. But over on the other side, backups. I mean, this time 1800 meters away from the circle, it is going to be a challenge for them to rotate inside a safer position. But let's see. Rame, the entire squad has been grouped, and I believe, will have an easier time rotating in as well as they've already started to move west. They are on the edge of the circle and they have options. They can either move to the northern island, rotate from there, which is going to result in a challenge being presented to them during the mid-game stages of the circle move south, or they can just stick to the main island. In the meanwhile, high voltage they're going to be spotted out by Praveen Assassin. Shots going to be fired in his direction, but Praveen just missing absolutely the entire clip of the M4, and Assassin is going to be able to get away scot from the situation, although the vehicle that he's in right now has taken a little bit of damage.
Missing a lot of shots. That's not good thing, but way outstayed in Zord. It's moving towards that Rozok area. Now, with this particular compound, he can collect a lot of information for sure that can spot down the players who are present on the Rozok mountain as well as school compartments. But it is a bit risky too because there are a lot of areas you're vulnerable from, and it's taken like the player Zord. He's just looting out in this particular compound. He has that he has that buggy, and now it's falling back towards his teammate. Kind of good decision. We still have 57 players alive in this lobby, and 15 teams are also there. Pre and true, very close to the safe zone. 3 players present towards the severity, one towards the shooting range. I used to stare. If if they decide to move towards the northern side and just shift towards the Georgia Pool's second apps, then they'll fight one team out there.
Well, let's see. As you said, they might just be able to find one more team and they might just be able to take that fight. But Bad Cops, what is the team actually going to do? Holding towards the side of Nova Repoi and Ekta Esports towards Milta as well. Both the squads going for the late rotation. Elementrix, they might just be able to hold quite close to the military bridge and take a fight against the players of Bad Cops in the early stages. But let's see how this game is going to work out. In the meanwhile, the squad of Ace finally starting to move from the side of Kamishki. And Cinema Arts, what is going on with the squad? CJ, it looks like he has stopped in his tracks, not moving at all. His team has gone forward, but finally CJ starts to move. Otherwise, if Ace actually caught up to him, CJ would have been in a world of trouble. 1 versus 4 situation, and Ace would have gotten away with one free kill for themselves.
That's a good thing. That's good news from the side of Team Ace with high voltage assassin. Spots down one player of Team Ace. Look at that. The distance is not that much, but the information is gonna weigh a lot of stuff. But important part is high voltage they are playing slow. So as a player of Team Destiny, not giving out a lot of information to those players, but Assassin, he has that DP28 with the 4 times, and we all know that DP with an M416 is one of the one of the best combination in PUBG Mobile. Finally, the first zone is also closing in, and then we are going to witness it where the second zone should stand out.
Well, let's see where the play zone is going to spanned out, as you said, but the circle finally, as I said, I mean, a high probability it is going to end towards Gatka, and I believe right now that is exactly where the game is headed. Although the decision to move towards Everest might just have backfired for the players of Skylight Gaming. They usually like to land right on Gatka, and they could have had an easy entrance into the mid game stages. But now, since they moved towards the bottom of Everest, towards the southwestern climb of Everest. Now they have to fall back inside the circle, and along with them, they're going to be joined by the squad of Rame. But mid rotation fight happening right now between Cinema Arts and B and Crew.
A lot of stuff to offer this team, but Cinema Art, Asuke goes down. On the other side, another player, Pratik, goes down too. Yuha is trying his level best to provide a lot of cover, and yep, he knocks out Season. That's the biggest knock he can get right now. But the important part is he's a little bit far away from the players right now, just making sure that he is safe because his players are not in a good position. The cover, the backup is already here from the side of P and Q. Ayush is also moving towards a knockout player. CJ, he has been compromised. His position has been compromised, but look at that. Too high. Finally moving in with his new ace, closing it the distance, and the revival is going to be there.
Well, let's see. I mean, the revive has been initiated, but IU is going to try and make the push forward. We included a wonderful job in the last matchup, but in Irangle right now, there is a lot of trouble on these lads. And in the back line, Cinemark, their teammate has been revived. He's just going to fall back, move towards the flank. IU could be in a world of trouble. And also, the nade that he dodged out actually bounced off the tree and landed right next to him. There's going to be an opening being created by Legend, and Cinemark's down to just one last player surviving. Sasuke behind the rock. Legend cooking up a nade, and I believe this is going to be the point where we see Cinemarts take an exit. The nade is perfect, and there it is. The end crew with the squad wipe. Cinemarts, the first team to be eliminated from this game.
Bad outing for the Cinema team. And on the other side, Shari knocked out one player with his Mosim. That's a big number, like that's a big thing. But PN Crew, as usual, taking down teams without facing a single loss. Confirmed 4 players into 4 kill points. That's the best thing. But again, look at that. The players from High Voltage and Destiny still at the same position, not leaving these compounds, because the good thing is they are inside the circle, as well as they are not engaging in any unnecessary fight, not compromising their position. So that's the best part. But Harame, the team Harame, also have an advantage, and that is they have control of these 5 compounds. On the other side, in the same vicinity, I can see Team Vibes is also there.
Well, as you mentioned, Vibes is also going to be present in that position. But let's see. Rame, it is the man advantage that they have that they can actually capitalize on and can utilize for themselves to actually come out on top in a situation like this. But on the other direction, High Voltage have spotted out the players of Destiny, but they're still holding on to that position. Do not want to engage in this fight. Be a little too eager, too hungry for those kills. But me and crew form the back lines, just entering the circle, and they have no one to challenge them for that position. But I believe a fight has broken out, and that is between the players of Team Extreme and Ekta Esports, the teams that like to land quite close to the city of Melta. Finally moving forward, Extreme will be able to enter the circle first. Ekta in the back lines is following quite closely, and there's going to be possibility for Extreme to actually gatekeep this entire team. But based on how the players are moving, I believe Extreme they're going to look to find some cover before they actually try and do the fight, which is obviously by default the best decision that you can make right now.
Yeah, I don't agree with that point. That could be the best decision. But right now, look at that cluster of team inside the circle. Literally every single team is inside the circle except 3 players who are very, very close to the circle, very close to the silence of the circle. Now, the good thing is High Voltage, they are not going to leave this position till long, I think so. If the circle just keeps supporting them, why they're going to leave this position. But Shadi, he got knocked out. The revival is there, but his level 2 helmet is literally damaged. It's 99% damage. But Joker trying his level best. I think so he spots down one player, and look at that. The team is just holding that bench area, holding that ridges, and that's going to be incredible. Joker on this side spots down another U is rotating inside the circle.
Well, as you said, he will be able to find out more piece of information, in fact. But I don't think finding an opening right now is actually going to be a possibility. Priority number one is just going to be to protect yourself. Otherwise, there is going to be a lot of damage that will be dished out from the other side. But in the meanwhile, Ace is going to be taken down and finished off by the players of Way Out Satan. Ace be caught off guard in the rotation, and Way Out Satan, I believe, they should be able to capitalize and actually get a squad wipe for themselves.
Sure. Let's go on the other side. This match, they had a great outing. Right now, they just want to, just want to showcase the same thing in this match too. In the Katka area, Skylight team is present there. On the other side, we can see now we have 3 teams in the same vicinity. Ace Gold knocked out one player, which is OZ, but will be able to knock another down. That's not the case because Extreme in the retaliation fire knocked out Zipesh, but Gold with that amazing play knocked out another. This is not looking good for Ace, and they go down. 14th position. They faced an elimination at the 14th position. Those who Havoc and Assassin for the backup. And look at that. The way this team is holding these compounds is awesome.
Well, as you said, it's quite nice display of skill by these teams. But High Voltage Extreme, he was dropped out really low, trying to engage in fact, avoid an engagement against another squad. I believe that is going to be True Nepal. But in the meanwhile, Skylight Gaming, as they try and fall in, let's go. It is waiting for Skylight Gaming to move out into the position. P and Crew also heading in this direction. There's going to be a really interesting sort of scuffle between these lads towards the northwest edge of the circle. But True Nepal just controlling the center quite nicely along with the players of Elementrix, and Vibes is also present behind the solid cover in the same position. Like the esports, they tried to go north, but they now seem to have dug a really, really bad position for themselves as they have to take up a fight against either Destiny or High Voltage in order to find an entry inside the circle. Although talking about the circle itself, towards the southeastern edge, we do see the players of Team Extreme and the players of Bad Pop quite close to each other. So let's see if the fight is going to break out over there or not. In the meanwhile, way outside, Sword has been spoiled out. High Voltage just take a lot of shots in this direction, but he will be able to survive a little bit longer.
He will be able to survive a little bit longer, but question is, teams like Bad Cop haven't secured a single kill and they are just waiting for that perfect opportunity. They are playing on the edge of the safe zone, which is kind of a good start, or we can say like a super start. But Extreme, they are also present in the same vicinity, also present in the same sidelines. But the important part is Team 5 rotate again engaging in another fight. He in True Legend, he got stuck behind that rock and Rhymes. The important part is High Voltage secure 2 kills, just looking out for some more. Plus on the other side, knocked out Alan from way out Satan. And he just confirmed that kill too.
Well, let's see. Sword has been finished off. Strength was taken down by a nade a while earlier, and with that, we out Satan forced out of this game. 17 minutes in, 12 teams, 46 players alive, and I believe just 2 more minutes before everything becomes, well, it is going to be insanely intense in this game because now the blue zone is closing in. From fifth circle onwards is where we see all the fights sort of happen in circle like these whenever the circle heads towards the Katka area. In the meanwhile, Ekta Esports, Mikey is going to find an opening, and one of the players from the side of Team Destiny is going to be taken out. In fact, there's going to be the finish coming in into the hands of Spiky, but Ayush he's going to take a lot of damage from the utility that's being tossed upon him by the players of High Voltage. We into the rest of the lads closing in from the back lines. Let's see if they will be able to create positions with High Voltage right now or not. Ayush with an 8 of his own fails to actually get a knock. And High Voltage, they are just going to stay inside those houses, stay inside the cover, wait for players to be intrude to close in. But Ayush, so barely a pixel of HP on him.
Surviving on very low HP at this position, but Ayush somehow managed to survive. But still, Havoc just want to create a mini manual, or we can say a man-made edge zone. But Ayush he is in a very good spot. But on the other side, Leon just popping off, knocked out Sandesh with his M416 spray. But the kill confirmation is not yet here. P and Q, they got sandwiched between these two teams. Ozzy on the other side secure that kill, stole that kill of Sandesh. Is not looking good for P and Q. The zone is also closing in. The teams are still waiting for the zone, and every single team just compromising their position. P and Q, Ayush, he's got a good position. Gain received some amount of damage. He was in the range of impact range of the frag grenade. Assassin spots down Season, takes him down with his TP28. Great.
Well, let's see. A wonderful spray being committed by Assassin right there. But the entry, they just be able to survive to the late game stages. They still have one more lad left standing, but he's quite close to the players of High Voltage. Ayush is going to be taken out by Nate. Legend on that flank in the distance. Look at him. Still managing to stay alive, and if he gets away, he might just be able to secure those extra placement points for his team. But how long will Legend be walking, will be left alive in this battle? That's going to be a really big question right now. In the meanwhile, High Voltage, they're going to be happy with how this fight went and them coming out on top. In fact, in the very end, but still shots being fired from the distance, and it is going to be Legend looking to cause some trouble right now. But that is going to be a really risky decision from the lad.
Certainly, it is going to be really risky on the other side. Extreme spots down another player of P and Q, but important part is they are still surviving. But Team Elementrix spots down 2 players of Pyramid, takes them down. at this position, Harame are not looking that good too. Muffin box on the other side takes down Malik from Team Vibe. We still have 12 teams alive. Every single team are engaging in multiple fights, and PN Crew only one single lad surviving. They have that one last hope at Destiny. They have to move inside the circle while taking some fights. Vibe Malik goes down, and his teammate too. Only one single player. Jiggle is surviving. Praveen goes down to the kill confirmation already there. Aruz with that incredible raid knocked out another player. Aruz is spraying down some random shots. Somehow managed to connect some, but no unable to knock out any player.
Well, let's see. He was unable to find anything, as you said. But Ekta Esports, Gyante is still in the backlines. Hunter might just take him down, but Gyante, he's just waiting for his prey to leave, find himself exposed, and then take him out. In the meanwhile, Ekta Esports, Mike is going to be taken down. Gyante is going to be the last player surviving for the team. Harame in the world of trouble as well. Bad Cops, look at them. They just have one lad hiding inside the smoke out in the open. Harame are going to lose out on Viking, and MR5 is going to be the last player surviving for his team. So we have 5 teams remaining. Vibes, Harame, Bad Cops, Ekta, and Crew. 5 teams with just one individual from the respective squads surviving. And again, it is those open circles, so it is going to be really interesting and pretty important for these squads, these players to just stay hidden somehow. If they try and take those shots, if they try and beat the overaggressive, they're going to be taken down. And talk about getting taken out. Let's go. Ale is going to be finding openings, and the opening is going to be on the players of Twilight Gaming, as Heaven is going to be picked off, but the kill is going to be secured by the players of PN Crew. Legend with the kill shield. Ekta Esports, in the meanwhile, are going to be eliminated from this match.
But Heaven, high voltage. Oh, my apologies there. High voltage doing a lot of job. Look at that, securing a lot of kills. Let's go. Tesla received some amount of damage, but he was lucky that he had that cover of those smoke grenades on the other side. Elementals also dishing out a lot of damage. Havoc again knocked out another player, but this is now this time it's from the different team, and that was Skylight Gaming. Harame unfortunately goes down at the 10th position. Team Extreme doing a lot of jobs, especially near this near one particular area. Hunter X on this side from Team Destiny. He knows that there's one team, but he has no frag grenade to at least flush them out. But look at that. They are buying a lot of time. Team Extreme with that cheeky move in their favor. They are not inside the circle. They have to move inside the circle, but Aruz goes down in a very difficult spot.
Well, as you said, Aruz is going to be taken out in a really tricky position. Team Destiny down to just 2 players. Hunter is trying to see if he can find an opening against the players of Team Extreme in these trenches, but Hunter is going to be shut down. No Tank finding the knock, and the finish as well is going to be secured as Hunter is going to be dropped down in the trenches. His last player surviving from the side of Team Destiny and hiding in the shack once again. That is where they gain success in a fight against the players of Sigma Arts in game 1, but this game 2, this is going to be an impossible situation because Extreme will not go for a charge. They will just toss a lot of utility and try and see if they can take down this last surviving player from the side of Destiny with just utility itself without being too over aggressive. And look at that, no armor, no level 3 helmet. This is going to be a really tough fight. No backpack, so limited ammo over there as well. It's a 1v3 situation.
Yeah, he is in a 1v3 situation. He has no hopes left, and yup, Destiny takes an exit at the 8th position. 7 teams left inside the circle. The 6th zone is also closing in. This is not going to be that easy for some teams who are still outside the zone, who are still fighting against the blue zone. But look at that, Team Extreme. The zone is also favoring them, so as the team play. Now, the position is strict to Nepal, unable to dish out some amount of damage, but look at that. Slipknot just spraying down some random UMP shots, just hoping that it wasn't like at least he can knock out one player. But Aussie from side angles taking down the players of Skylight Gaming. Slipknot finally found an opening spot, so another finally just healing himself up. But this is the time for Skylight Gaming to outshine Joker by a lot of time, and he's the final player surviving. He's still doing a lot of job. He's just taking cover off that shack on the other side. Bunny goes down. Kara is compromised this position, but he's not backing off. He just wants to take some fights.
Well, he is trying to take those fights, and Gara from Trickroot Nepal doing a wonderful job as well. And Ozzy is going to be the last player surviving from the side of High Voltage, finally falling back. Gara is going to go for a revive on his teammate, but from the backlight, Slipknot is going to be able to provide a little bit of a support. Ozzy has been pinned down. The damage is being dished out, constantly dropping him down to 50% HP, but he's still trying to dodge those shots around the tree. just making sure that at least he is going to be protected from the front lines. It is a lot of pressure on this player, a massive opportunity on his shoulders to make sure to secure those points for his team. But look at that high voltage; they have 13 kills already secured from the performance so far. The lads can take a break, they can take an exit, and that is exactly what's going to happen. Down to the top five teams of this match, ladies and gentlemen, and well, now it's down to Team X, Trickery Nepal, Elementrix. Let's go once again, doing a
Wow.
pretty decent job inside the top five, and also Bad Cops this time.
Yo, and that cop joining out fray, which is kind of decent on the other side. It's Elementrix taking down that one single player at the lead, and he goes down on the other side. Tapa also faced an elimination. Let's go. They got eliminated at the fifth position. This is not looking good for Bad Cop too because they go down at the fourth position. Now we have only three teams left. It is going to be very, very difficult for some teams who have only one or two players left, but this is a 4v2 situation. Elementrix, they have only two players left in the favor. It is Soft and Liquid, and they are in a very, very difficult spot, right? They are way, way far away from these two squads, but look at that. Both the players, both the teams, in fact, they know that they is one team in front of them, but right now they are not compromising their position or exchanging any type of bullets. He's got down one, but again, Kazi, that cover is enough.
Well, that cover is definitely enough, but Kazi going for the spray right there. A little bit of an utility usage, and Team Extreme will definitely have an easier time taking down the players of True Nepal. It's not just Kazi though. The entire squad of Team Extreme have their crosshairs perfectly placed and lined up for the players of Trickaroo. In the meanwhile, Elementaries on that high ground outside the trenches are going to be happy that these two squads are just completely focused on each other and not even looking in their direction. But this switch, this movement from Nopsang can actually be pretty deadly as Nippon is finally going to be spotted out and taken down. No one tried to challenge him, and Nopsang getting the three entries right there to get two knocks. Gara is taken down as well. True Nepal in a world of trouble. This last player surviving. Slipknot the knocks coming in. The
Oh
Kazi
no!
is going to be taken down. And it's down to a one-world situation, and Trickaroo Nepal, they come out on top. Elementrix versus Trickaroo. Trickaroo are down to a one-man squad, and if Elementrix just toss one grenade in that trench, that is going to be it. This is going to be their chicken dinner, and thus with the perfect utility, this can actually get the job done. But no, it's going to be a bit short. It did not go inside the trenches, but another one is going to be tossed out by Sas. He is trying his level best, but in the meanwhile, Trickaroo, their teammates are being revived, and it's going to be a 4 versus 2 situation. As soon as the players are revived and all healed up, Elementrix, they will have to settle for second instead of walking away with a chicken dinner from this game.
Elementrix, they had a perfect opportunity but unable to capitalize on that. Wasn't sure that there's two players left or one single player alive for that one particular team. Now it all comes down to your position, how many covers do you have, and which type of utilities you are using. But that
Oh,
one grenade from the side of Sus was enough to take down two. On the Sagara goes down to Elementrix. Utilize the situation into their favor and what? They secured a chicken dinner despite of the fact it was a 2v4 situation again.
exactly. 2 versus 4 outnumbered. Plus opening things up with a wonderful grenade, and then Liquid from the backlines just taking the individuals down. Completely pinned out in the trenches. Elementrix pinned out in the open, and Elementrix they come out on top. 10 kills from this match, 25 points, and still inside the top 8. Elementrix is showing exactly why people love this. Why people love these four players that are playing for this lineup.
Wow, that was an amazing outing from the side of Elementrix. And to be honest, Fast, he was so good throughout the match and every single time. Whenever Elementrix find an opening, it was Sas who always
Yeah.
gave an opening as well as the first blood for Team Elementrix. But now the important part is after this incredible chicken dinner, how many points they secured and at which position now they are at in the overall ranking.
I mean, Elementrix, they're going to be pretty safe inside the top 8 right now. Just after this game, they have entered the top 8. But, I mean, an interesting thing right now is, I mean, Trikuru Nepal, exactly where is Trikuru Nepal going to be? Also, will finally Let's Go leave the 16th position, and will they be moving forward, I believe, to the 14th or maybe the 30th position. That is something that I will be looking forward to as far as the overall standings are concerned. But then again, I mean, he and Crew out in the open just completely pinned down. High Voltage as well doing a wonderful job in this match, but we do have the MVP of this match, and it's going to be Nope Sang from Team Extreme. 6 kills secured, 2 assists as well, 1225 damage dished out, and he was the man who almost single-handedly took out Vikru Nepal before his teammates started
Yeah.
to fall in the back lines. They were finished off by the team of Vikru.
Yeah, to be honest, I know he was so good in that French area. But again, Team Extreme popping up in an Erangel match. So now we can say that Team Extreme, they have a good hold on the Erangel maps, right? And Erangel map basically, and they were showcasing the same thing again and again and again, and that's the best part. But now we talk about top 4 players, and in this particular match, from this particular match, Nope Sangu is always going to be on top because he was the MVP. But OC on the second position with 6 kills too, and plus on the third position with 5 kills onto his name, P and Crew legend. To be honest, he was decent, and he was alone. I think so. He was the final player surviving from the side of Legend, despite the fact he secured a lot of kills for his team. Talk about the match summary. It is divided between these 3 teams. P and Crew. Okay, it's High Voltage, Elementrix, Team Extreme.
Well. I mean, these 3 teams definitely doing a wonderful job of delivering the performance for their teams. And look at Aussie's highest kills for his team. I believe 13 kills is where High Voltage took an exit, and almost a 50% kill contribution coming in for Aussie. Such the longest distance right there. And I mean, Extreme definitely doing a wonderful job. But looking at the standings, Elementrix walking away 25 points, Vikru Nepal walking away with 21. High Voltage is going to be there with 13 kills, 17 points in total, just 4 placement points for the team. PNQ as well. They were taken out early in the game, but with those 6 kills, 7 points, they managed to bring themselves in the top 6.
Destiny, not good outing from the side of Destiny because they are at the 8th position, but still they have only total 20 points, and that's a point of concern with Team High Voltage. As just mentioned, the kills is massive. 13 kills onto their name with 17 total points, but teams like Skylight Gaming and Ekta Esports, they were decent. They were decent. They had a good start, but couldn't able to cope up with the situation. They have total 3 and 2 points into their favor respectively.
Exactly. I mean, they weren't able to cope up with the situations, with the cards that were dealt to them. And I mean, Ekta Esports, usually we do expect the team to perform really well on maps like Erangel. This time, it was a letdown. Even the previous match, they were completely shut down. This one as well. PNQ, this is where they start things off. The first fight against Cinemart, they barely managed to find an exit, barely managed to survive this entire situation. Then after this, 2 more kills secured, and then they were caught off guard, completely out in the open. Again, as I said, circles like this, circles towards the western side or angle, do result in a really slow early game, and because of that, those mid-game rotations, they become a really big challenge for almost everyone inside the map.
True, and if you control a very crucial angle of the circle, then you may lead charge, and you are the best team to get that chicken in onto their favor. But this was the fight we got like hyped up, but at the end it was Elementrix that stole the show and got chicken dinner onto their name. Ekta Esports again still holding that first position, but Elementrix finally securing the top 8 position for themselves with 165 points.
Well, let's see. I mean, 212 for Ekta and Crew moving up on the third with 200 points. Vibes still stuck on the 5th position, and today, in fact, there has been a drop from Vibes Skylight Gaming on the 7th with 171 points, and as we mentioned, Elementrix moving up to the 8th because DRS, they aren't playing the matches today, so they're going to be dropping. But again, DRS, their entire job, their objective, I believe, was to just qualify for the finals, and that is where we are going to witness a domination coming in from the team. There it is. Matches played by DRS in 7th position. But let's go on why this team is still stuck on that 16th position, and there's a 16-point difference between them and Tricor Nepal. Also, Kings Nepal. It looks like Kings Nepal might just be in a world of trouble right now.
Yeah.
They started the day inside the top 10, and now they're sitting on the 14th position. Just barely avoiding the elimination position. And Bad Cops, they are closing in 109 points with 2 matches remaining. Bad Cops need to have at least one chicken dinner finish, and the other game they need a top 3 if they want to take down Kings Nepal and move forward and reach the finals.
The next match is going to be San and we all know that Bad Cops, they are good in those close range fight, and let's see if they'll somehow manage to secure the second dinner in the San map. Only time will tell. But the important part is, as you just mentioned earlier, that Kings Nepal, they are on the verge of elimination right now. They are in a pretty good position, but still they just played their 20 matches. So as PWP Esports, they have 152 points. They're quite happy with that type of performance, but anything can happen.
I mean, but with 150 points, I believe PWP might just be able to make it on the other side. Although Kings Nepal, as we are talking about, that there's a sword hanging above their head, and any given time the sword is going to fall, and Kings Nepal, they might just have their head chopped off and get eliminated from the semi-final. But still, that is a team that has displayed what sort of skill and what sort of caliber they are made of. Wonderful performances, time and time again from Kings Nepal. But with 2 more matches to go, what exactly is going to be the fate of the team? Only time will tell. For now, we're going to take a very short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea?
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to PUBG Mobile National Championship for the Nepal region, brought to you by the Oppo F90 Pro. Woke up your fun with the Oppo F90 Pro. This is Warren Super Johnny John, joined by Phoenix Evan right next to me, and we're just about to jump into the action on the map of Sandhawk. That is going to be game number 4 for today. So the second last game, the penultimate game of the semifinals. After that, just one more Erangel remains, and then we will have a final list of the top 16 teams that will be moving forward towards the finals.
I'm very excited that which team is going to win this particular match because now there's a lot of lines. There's a lot of on the line, and teams like Destiny they still have some chances left to be in the top 16 and qualify for the finals. And some teams like we all know that vibes they are playing with three-man lineup. Still, they were looking pretty decent, but still they are at the first page of the leaderboard. And Team Extreme they were so good in every single Erangel match. Now this is the Sanok map, and the playing part just finished. Every single team just moving towards a favorable drop location. Why we talk about vibes? They're just moving towards the Bantai area. And what if the zone's just gonna favor them? I'm sure they'll rule out this map.
Well, let's see if they are meant to rule this map of Sanok, as we will have the circle right in front of us in just a few more seconds. And that is going to be the thing that's going to be deciding exactly how fast or slow this game is going to be. Although, on the other side, once again, we do just have 15 teams inside this game. Harame and Cinema Arts landing on the northern parts of the map, with we have Satan going towards the side of Mongnai and Camp Bravo, who are joined by Ace quite close to Zod on the eastern edge. Voltage going with their standard drop. Skylight Gaming this time going towards the side of Boot Camp and will be completely uncontested, as Elementrix's four-man drop is going to be in an interesting position. But look at the circle, around 50% water already being present. We're going to have a really interesting game and a quick one on Sanok in front of us right now, as this is going to result in a lot of mid-game fights happening.
Yeah, this is certainly going to result a lot of mid games fight, and we love those mid game fight. But high voltage again, they are inside the circle, and we all know in the previous match. Let's take an example of the previous match. They were inside the circle and literally punishing every single team moving from that particular area. Tried their level best to rotate from that particular area, but high voltage they were punishing every single team from that Pochinki, from the western side of Pochinki. But now Elementrix in the previous match they secured a chicken dinner, and that was an interesting game from their side too. Sas, he was the MVP for, in my personal opinion, he was the MVP from the side of Team Elementrix, because that one grenade literally changed every single thing for Team Elementrix.
As you said, that one aid from us actually did, in fact, help them get that chicken dinner. But let's see what Elementrix will be able to accomplish in this match. Also, agree with you what you said about high voltage. They're going to have a priority in this team in terms of where their position is exactly. But along with that, I mean, there is an opportunity that high voltage might just be able to pick up a lot of kills during the mid game stages. If the team just regroups, they get control of that temple area at the top of the mountain, and then they start taking that fight. We have seen them do that in the past a lot of those times, and every single time high voltage they go on to dominate situations like these. This game might just be theirs again. Time will tell if anyone is going to be able to live up to the challenge that will be put on them by the players of high voltage once
Yeah.
eventually the circle does move towards the Camp Alpha Island. That is.
Now teams like Team Extreme they're just looting those compounds, and they'll for sure find some interesting loot out there. But we in crew, we talk about Legend. He was literally living up to his name in the previous match, secured three. In fact, not three, in fact, six the kills, and those were some crucial points for his team too. Now, the thing is, we in crew, if we talk about yesterday's Sanok, Sandesh, he was playing with Car 98. I mentioned this earlier, but I'm mentioning this thing again because he has only 40 bullets of 7.62 in his bag, but has a ton of bullets of 5.56 because he was using an M4162 with the sixth times, and he was so good, literally connecting every single bullet onto his enemies and taking down every single player. I still think that maybe they are just gonna replicate the same thing in the Sanok map, but There's one team, and that is Ekta and PN Crew. In fact, three teams: PN Crew, Ekta, and even Skylight Gaming. They could be the reason why PN Crew are unable to do the same thing.
Well, let's see. I mean, it is going to be quite interesting to see what exactly Ekta Esports will be able to accomplish in this matchup. Cinema Arts on the other side, they'll be looking to find. They are in a wonderful position right now inside the circle, and as we mentioned, they are on the northern edge as well towards the city of Hathen. So they're gonna have a wonderful early game, but it is gonna be those late game stages that might just be putting a challenge on towards this team. There's absolutely no one to contest them in this early stage of this matchup on Sanok and Cinema Arts. I believe they should be able to utilize this to their advantage. Let's see if that is actually going to be a possibility. But in the meanwhile, Elementrix Liquid finds himself in an interesting position. But towards his right, there is an individual. In fact, there's the entire squad of PN Crew present, and Liquid is completely focused right towards his front.
This could go either ways, Johnny, but Limentrick, they have to be careful. Their sidelines are there's one team on the sidelines, and that is Green Crew, as you just mentioned. But if you got tunnel vision towards that one particular area, at least be like to make an extra go, be sure to pop out some smokes or to be on the safer side. But right now, the thing is, we can see Team Harame, they got punished because one player of Team Harame got knocked out.
Well, talking about knockouts, I mean, I believe Vibes will be in a really bad position. They might just be the first ones to get knocked out as they are the furthest one away from the circle. Ace moving in from the west will eventually encounter the players from way out Satan. And we have the first airdrop, ladies and gentlemen, inside the water. But Inception with those shots on towards Legend. Ayush is going to take a lot of damage. Season is going to be targeted next by Inception. But Ayush completely pinned out behind the rock is going to have a lot about a smoke in order to escape behind the trees and run away with his teammate. Elementrix, since they have the sort of cover available to them, they might be able to capitalize on this position and take out one or two players from the side of Crew, as Legend is going to be the first one to fall down.
This is not a good sign for the side of PN Crew. Liquid, he's still waiting for the perfect opportunity on the other side. Spots down Ayush, just pincer him down behind the rock, and Ayush has no other option to just stay behind, just to stay low. On the side, we can see that OG Lord spots down one player, finished him. Basically, he just knocked him down, and right now he's just also waiting for the kill confirmation. So as I now 57 players in the lobby, 15 players alive, and Ayush just boosted himself up, but he has no smoke grenades left, I think so.
Well, let's see what's gonna happen. And well, Legend, he's gonna be getting a revive soon, but Elementrix still will be able to put up a lot of pressure on these lads. Stuck in the open once again. PN Crew, even in the last match, they were sort of taken out mid rotations. But let's see. This time, Elementrix, they are backing off, and Ace on the other side do find an opening against the in a fight against the players of way outside, so they might be able to capitalize on the position right there.
Sure, they might be able to capitalize on that position, but now way out Satan. Zord, he has been doing a lot of job right now, cooking a grenade, just going to toss the grenade on top of the players of Ace. Both players got knocked out, one player, and that is Gold. He's just hiding behind that one particular spot. Backup is there, but Zord is taking, not filtering down one, but these two players at the same time. So this is a risky move, but yeah, these type of important moves, these type of moves are important in this type of fight. But right now, the blue zone is gonna start closing in, and just after 1 minute. On your side, I don't think so that the revival to the spot is going to be important, or it is going to be a viable option for Team A's. At this position, one player already got a revival. Shampoo is just up on his legs and just healed himself up. The kill confirmation has already been there, and Alan knocked out another player.
Well, another knock coming in, and Alan doing a wonderful job. Ace trying to pull themselves out of this bad situation. Alan is going to try and see if he can take down Chambu as well, the man who is pushing towards the front lines. Still hiding behind the rock. Both the teams are going to be in trouble as the circle has moved away from both these squads. And let's see. It is going to be quite interesting. The pace on the flank, but the curve of the land is going to be able to protect him. Chambu, again, with the help of Gold, is going to try and look forward, but way out Satan. They're moving towards the players of Ace. They are hungry for blood right now.
But look at that. He's got stuck in a very, very difficult position. Vibes also rotating from the same angle. Zord caught that down, but Frankie is the one just going to dish out a lot of damage, and that's not a good case because Frankie literally dish out a lot of damage. Vibes one single player, he was surviving. He was barely surviving on 1% HP. Liquid on the other side knocked out Kasi, and that was a headshot. That was a cheeky headshot from the side of Liquid. Now Shinx slowly and steadily crawling in towards the side of the player of Ace. Shambu has only 5 bandages left on the other side. Gold, that's the same case for him. He also has 5 bandages left in his backpack. They outstayed and literally ruling out this particular position. They are also 140 meters far away from the safe zone, but still they don't want to miss this fight. They don't want to miss this chance. But look at that, Shanks, very close to Gold, spots him down, but why is he sticking with the frag grenade? And yep, I got the answer. He was already cooking that so previously.
Well, let's see. Oh, another opening Chambu. Way out Satan, they are getting delayed, and the more they stick around in the blue zone, the more they're going to be in trouble. Ace just doing a wonderful job. Chambu is going to try and secure the kill. Just lay the revive on towards Shink. But Allen from the backlines is actually keeping Chambu pinned down as well. Dipesh is losing out on a lot of his health on the other side, but the kill is going to be secured by the players of Ace. And instead of walking away with just no points in this game, they will be walking away with at least one.
Yep, that's at least a consolation prize for them. But right now we can see that Ace Shambu doing a lot of job, and right now look at the zone. Look at the zone where the zone is going to form. If it shifts towards the northern side, then things are going to be very, very, very difficult for some of the teams. On the other side, the kill feed is also running. Funny OP on the other side, he goes down. And right now, let's go. Players are struggling on the other side. They somehow managed to secure one player, but their one teammate he also got knocked out. Now the zone is kind of a centralized shift, and Harame, they are in the dead center of the safe zone.
Well, let's see. I mean, they're going to be quite safe, but look at this trickery. Nepal defend out in the open, and the players of Let's Go, they are roaming right in front of him. He has lost out on 2 teammates. Bunny in the backlines has been knocked out, but he's going to be revived pretty soon. Slipknot has been finished off as well, but Let's Go, they're going to be putting up a lot of pressure on the other 2 lads from the side of Trickery Nepal. And defend can be the surprising factor. He can be the X factor in this entire fight. If he manages to find 2 knock closing in on the players of Let's Go without them actually spotting him out, then he might just be able to find an opening that his team is going to be really, really desperate for. But Let's Go, they are going for the push, and in the meanwhile, I believe Trickeru, they're going to be in a world of trouble. Oh no, they climb up. Let's Go. They drop down, go to the low ground. Trickeru, they fall back. Defend is going to be moving forward slowly and steadily. And the opening that was provided to these lads was actually going to be taken away as from the distance. Depen is going to be spotted out as he was thrown out in the open, and the shots did come in from the high ground. Backs off behind the shack, but will he be able to survive? That's going to be a really big question right now.
Certainly, it's going to be a really, really big question. But teams are also playing perfectly. Let's Go. They got stuck in a very, very difficult position, but there's no single team right now in at least 20-meter radius. But the important question is, teams are rotating from the same area. Bad cops are in the same vicinity. Let's Go. They have to change their location because that is going to be very, very important for them. Now we can see that the third zone just start closing in. Those teams who were playing on the edge of the safe zone, they are forced to move inside the circle, and that's why they got punished. Havoc knocked out one player. Lord got him down. Were you able to knock him down? The question is, the answer is no, because he just literally tries his level best going for that one tap, but at the end, he wasn't able to do that.
Well, let's see. Look at this. As I said, high voltage already moving forward to take control of the Temple Mountain. And from the high ground, it's going to be raining death from above. And the harbingers of death in this game are going to be the players of high voltage. Someone has to take them out as soon as possible if they want to make sure that at least the circle is going to be free for the taking. Otherwise, high voltage is just going to go and secure a lot of kills in this match. In the meanwhile, though, PM Crew, they have managed to get quite close to the players. And if Aussie goes down, then that might just be the opening that PM Crew need for themselves. Let's see if that is going to happen. Down to 15 teams, 52 players. I mean, we started with 15 teams, but we're down to 52 players right now. All teams still alive.
All teams are still alive in this circle, and this is going to be the fourth circle. We still have 15 teams left. That's the best position right now. Season's knocked out one player, and it might be possible that he's going to confirm that kill too. And that bridge, it is going to be a nightmare for that one particular team. On the other side, high voltage Harame. My Harame is on the back lines, and they just want to dish out some damage. And yup, confirm that kill. Basically, they stole that kill from PN Crew. Season again trying his level best. The zone is just going to fall towards the north side, and this is where things will get interesting because the players from Skylight Gaming, they are holding that one like one total, we can say one island in this a plateau basically. Just
Yeah.
to beat the river, but they have to move, they have to change their location.
This game is getting more and more intense by the second, Savansh. And as we move forward, I mean, it's going to be quite interesting. Harami, look at them. They have a lot of cover available for themselves, but it's going to be really difficult for them to actually contest it. High voltage, they're going to be pushed out of their high ground, and they have managed to find a way inside the circle. In the meanwhile, Team Destiny, a lot of pressure falling upon them as Skylight Gaming is going for a push. Leon is the only man, although right now, to charge into this fight. The rest of the players are still crossing the river and, in fact, are on the shorelines. But it's going to be a few seconds before they find themselves a part of this action. In the meanwhile, Leon, he has managed to find an opening, and even though he might not be able to go for the finish, he can delay the revive, and with that, Leon might just be able to secure an extra kill for himself. Well, let's see. I mean, they are going to be hiding behind the tree right now. I mean, Leon is going to finally move forward as we do see the rest of the lads from Skylight Gaming moving inside the circle. This rotation is going to be quite important, but Leon needs to be careful. Look at the radar. He had one player right behind him, and that individual was able to catch him off guard. Leon might just be able to. Leon is going to be taken out without anything given for a trade.
Yeah.
But in front of us right now, it's Recruit Nepal and the players from Cinema Arts right in front of each other. Too High is going to be quite close to the shack, but they are just gatekeeping the players of the Recruit from moving deep inside the circle. Let's Go is going to be the first squad to take an exit though in this game.
Yep, let's go. Goes down at the 13th position on the other side. Rami Spirit take down Shante. But this is the position that Pratik always wants because now he has a cover of that rock. He's playing on the edge as well as he's inside the circle. On the other side, Dipesh again stepping up. Finished one player play zone is not a good friend of Sandesh because he goes down. But I just mentioned that Pratik, he had a good position. Now he got punished from the same position. He is bleeding out and slowly, steadily, kill confirmation is going to be there. Too high, one molly thrown towards him, but he's just hiding behind the one compound. Dalion on the other side goes down by the play zone. Play zone is doing a lot of damage, dishing out a lot of damage onto the players who are just outside the play zone. But Blue Zone is not everyone's friend. So as Screw Dip got down one player, dished out a lot of damage, switched to that M4, but it's too late.
Well, let's see. I mean, Ace, as you said, it's going to be a little too late for them. Ace, they will get taken out. But meanwhile, Trickery Nepal doing a wonderful job taking on the players of Cinema Arts as well. And, well, with that squad being taken out, Trickery, they will have an opportunity to move forward inside this game. But Rame, they somehow have to hold on to this cover as long as possible because this is the thing that wins them this matchup. This is the thing that's going to lead them having the chicken in this matchup, and it's going to be so important. But let's see if that is going to happen. The only team with any cover inside this late game stage right now. Skylight Gaming is right behind them, though. They will try and see if they can figure out a way to challenge Karame and sort of dislocate them, push them out first, and then finish them off. But it's not going to be an easy job.
It's not going to be an easy job, but the thing is, we still have 10 teams alive in this fifth circle. Sasuke on the other side confirmed the kill of Bad Cops, one player from Bad Cops, and Shari just finished the game for one team, and that is Ekta Esports. He goes down at the ninth position with total 3 kills. Shari in a very, very, very precarious spot, but still he has a lot of cover to play with. Harame, one player from Team Harame, he is in front of him, and that is Spirit. But Joker, look at that. He's out in the open. But CJ with that perfect grenade finish of one player of Pop. So now 4 teams, in fact, 4 teams, they are playing with only one player, but high voltage. They had a great chance, but right now one player of high voltage also goes down. CJ looking up one grenade, drops that one grenade onto Rana. Oh, just out some amount of damage. That in fact was impressive. 50% damage onto Rana, surviving on 50% HP. But CJ, he has to be careful because he is 10 meters far away from the safe zone. Not a big deal, but in Sanok, it is.
Well, in Sanok it can be, but Shari, look at him looking to find an opening, but he's going to be peeked from the flank, and that can be a dangerous situation. But Joker is going to be there to find an opening as well. And with the Molotov, Silent Gaming, they pull themselves out of a bad situation. Harame, they're going to be taken out one after the other. All the players going down. Viking is going to be the last man surviving, taken down from Blue Zone, and I believe Blue Zone was saying that took him out as well. One kill denied to the players of Silent Gaming, but they're going to be happy that they got 3. 9 points secured by this team. 2 players still surviving. All the other squads just left with one player ace, and everyone is just getting taken out. Down to 14, 7 players inside the water. Chari is going to be taken down by CJ from the side of Cinema Arts, and Skylight Gaming. This is going to be falling down. Joker taking a lot of damage. Is to be spotted out, but the shots being fired towards the side of CJ help him survive. He still has 40 HP. The boosters are running, but the blue zone is dishing out a lot of damage on this individual. CJ is going to be falling down to the other side of the ridge. He's going to heal up and then try and re-engage. But Havoc has managed to find his way to the shoreline. Priority number 1, take out the players of Victory Nepal, and then priority number 2, focus on the player from Cinema Art, CJ, and then finish off Joker in the end. Havoc secures one more kill, 5 kills coming for the players of High Voltage. Havoc finally being spotted out, and CJ is going to be able to find the finish. Now, 3 teams. Let's make it 2, because Pippen, he's just in the water. The moment he reaches the shore, he is getting taken out.
But still, it's 1v1, 1v1v1 situation between these 3 players. But yep, as it just mentioned, the pain goes down, and now it's a 1v1 situation between Joker and CJ. CJ has an upper advantage. CJ has that high advantage. Joker has only 8 bandages left, but CJ is boosting himself up. Right now, he's just taking a lot of damage with the blue zone slowly and steadily closing in. I think Joker spots him out. Joker somehow, no, never, why he stopped firing? He never fired basically. Why he's just waiting for that so long, and no, CJ goes down by the blue zone.
I mean, something we expected, because Joker, I mean, him prioritizing the circle was the thing that gave him the advantage in the final situation, plus the extra bit of damage that was used on his opponent, just helping him out. And Skylight Gaming getting chicken dinner, it is it is going to make me so happy. The second half game, moving inside the top 5, just 9 kills, 24 points, but still an impressive performance considering it was just 2 players left, and in the end it was just Joker who had to move in after Shari was taken out by rotation.
To be honest, that was a roller coaster ride for every single team who tried their level best to stay inside the circle,
Yeah.
but literally taking a lot of damage of the blue zone. The blue zone was the MVP in my personal opinion, literally dishing out a lot of damage. And the blue zone also secured the final kill. That's why CJ lost the second end, but at least he finished off the final player before going down. It's the second last player basically before going down. But now the Sanok map just got finished, and we all know the teams who were playing decent, they have a great start. But this is going to be very, very, very important for some teams who are at the 14th till the 18th position, because now the next map will decide, will you qualify for the top 16, or your journey is saying
It's
like it's
done.
taken it.
Yeah. It's your journey is going to come to an end. I mean, I agree. I mean, the last map of the day, Erangel, this is all where it all comes down to. I mean, not for the finals, not for the distribution of the prize money, as you said, but just to confirm the slot in the finals. And it is going to be quite interesting to see what the other teams are going to be bringing to the table. But Cinema Arts seems to be doing a wonderful job in this game, and it's going to make it the MVP with 6 kills, 2 assists, 751 damage, and getting his team to the top, getting all those placement points as well. Definitely performance to make this lad an MVP.
PJ with 751 damage, so that's a decent number. And the damage to kill conversion is also impressive, to be honest, Johnny. But the important part is I'm eagerly waiting for the top 4 players because PJ was there. He deserves this title. He is the MVP. He's going to be at the top position. But Joker, 2 players from Skylight Gaming, sharing the second and third position amongst themselves. So 3 kills for Joker, 4 kills for Shari. And at the 4th position, we have Way Out Satan Zord. Zord. This is the second time I think so he got featured in this top 4 players.
Well, let's see. I mean, yes, it has been quite impressive the way Zod has been playing, and not just him. In fact, the entire squad of Way Out Satan have been doing a wonderful job today. But it is still those performances that we saw on day one that are lacking from the day one of this week. Not the semifinals, but Friday was day number 4 for the semifinals. That is when I believe Way Out Satan looked most impressive. Today is also
Oh,
a
yeah.
good performance, but not as good. Match summary in front of us. CJ doing the highest damage, highest kills. Joker is going to be there from Skylight Gaming with maximum assist. That is going to be 2. Ayush with the longest kill on Sanok. That is going to be 300 meters. And it's quite surprising because Miramar we had less than 200, and on the Sanok we see 300 meters. Quite interesting position right there. But moving forward to the rankings of this game, and Skylight Gaming walking away with 24 points. Cinema Arts with 21. High voltage were shut down as soon as they moved out from that Temple Hill, but they still managed to get 13 points from this match. And Trikuru Nepal, well, one good performance decision by the player to just go inside the water quite early and just stay in there towards the top 3 was the thing that kept him alive for so long.
Sorry, but correct me if I'm wrong now. Right now, Way Out Cops secured 8 total points, right, from this particular match. But I think so they were at the 3rd place of the leaderboard. Am I right? I think so.
I think so. I think
You know?
it might just
So-
be the thing that gives a boost.
But now the thing is, let's go. They were at the 16th position, so these 2 teams you always have to look out for because now Destiny they are struggling. Literally, to be honest, this is the perfect term because they are struggling. They haven't secured a single point from this particular match, and they are the only team. Again, they are the only team who has that 1 chicken dinner in their favor. We still have 1 games left. The hopes are still there. They can still keep up with the situation. They can still fight back. They can still, pop off with an answer. But to be honest, it's too late.
Well, let's see. I mean, it's going to be quite interesting, as you said. I mean, for a few of these teams, it is quite late. But for the other side, I mean, there are teams that still have an opportunity. One good game, and they might just be able to move themselves forward. That is why, I mean, the overall standing, the second page and the third page of the overall standing are really important to actually figure out exactly who will be on the verge of taking the other side and who will be on the verge of getting taken out. But looking at the Opus 19 moments of this match, I mean, majority of the fights did happen in the late stages, and that was how it all ended with the last player CJ from Cinema Arts getting taken out. But look at this, again, True moving into the top 2, 204 points.
Just 12 points far behind from Ekta Esports. Now, the interesting point is every single time you say the same thing, and that is true. That is literally perfect because these teams till the 10th position, all the 10 teams who secured a comfortable position for themselves, they are already qualified for the final, so they are in the safer spot. But teams like who are present in the second page of the leaderboard, they have to make sure that they have a good point cushion, so they'll continue their journey till the finals. And this is PMNC. This is one of the biggest stages. And if I'm talking about Trikuru Nepal, PWP Esports, Kings Nepal falls down at the 15th position, Johnny. But still, 148 points. I think so. It's decent, right?
it is quite decent. I mean, it should be able to enough. It should be enough to keep them actually in the fight. And I believe, yeah, Kings Nepal they're going to be safe with one match to go. Let's Go is going to be safe as well with 121 points. But then again, where is the team on the same position? That is going to be a big question right now. And if it comes down to just getting a chicken dinner in that last match, that is too much pressure. That is too much pressure to deal with.
There certainly is going to be too much pressure.
115 and 1.2,
Ooh.
5 points, just 5 points. And let's just say Harame is going to be in a contesting position for that 16th position because, as I said, one chicken dinner and if this team might just be able to walk over to the other side and see themselves moving in the finals.
Yeah, bad cops. They have to. They have to secure at least 6 points more than at one team. Let's Go. But the important point is, as just mentioned, that Harame is again is they are also here. They can change the fate of these two teams that they can secure a good position in the overall ranking. But the important part is it all depends on the final match, and it is going to be Erangel, and we all know in Erangel Team Extreme is awesome, fabulous, and every single time they will dominate the lobby.
I mean, definitely, it is going to be quite interesting to see how Team Extreme will be able to put up a phenomenal performance in this last match. But then again, I mean, not just Team Extreme. My focus is going to be on the squad of Bad Cops and Ramen, as you mentioned. I believe Bad Cops they need to just to be safe, at least a top three finish with 5 to 6 kills to their name, and even in doing that, Let's Go need to get taken out before they move inside the top eight. If both those things turn out to be true in this last match, only then will Bad Cops move inside the next match. But I mean, we will be moving to the last match very, very quickly, but right after this.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile National Championship for the Nepal region, brought to you by the Oppo F19 Pro. Woke up your fun with the Oppo F19 Pro. This is Super Johnny, that is Simaj, and it is time for us to jump into the last match of the semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. One last angle to decide the teams, the top 16 teams that will be moving forward to the finals of the PUBG Mobile National Championship Nepal.
Yep, and you know what? We were talking about the situation just created. Let's Go, and teams like Bad Cops, they still have a chance to qualify for the top 16. Let's Go, they are at the top 16 position with 120 points, and Bad Cops 115 points. Just 5 points difference between these two teams, and they can still qualify for the top 16. Now things are interesting because some teams who are dominating from the past 10 matches, they are still continuing their domination till the end, and some teams who were struggling, they are again like they're still struggling to showcase the perfect dominance.
Yeah, definitely. And one of those teams is definitely going to be Harame, who were doing really well during the last week of the semifinals. But this week, they are struggling quite a lot. In fact, right now, sitting outside the top 16, need that chicken dinner with at least 10 kills to move to the finals. But let's see if that is going to happen because the last match is live, ladies and gentlemen. And the trajectory of the plane is right in front of us, right here, and it is leaning extremely to the southern and the eastern side of the map, starting from the western edge of the Sosnovka military base and moving all the way towards Lipovka.
So we know that Team Destiny, as well as Team Ace, they were trying their level best, taking a lot of fights while moving inside the circle. If we talk about the plane path, as you just mentioned, is just shifted toward the southern eastern side of the map. If the zone's just going to favor these two teams for sure, they'll have a comfortable start, but they have to maintain that start till the end, just like Team High Voltage. Why I always take an example of Team High Voltage, because whenever they got an advantage, whenever the zone just favors them, they never ever change their position. They just stay there, just keep that particular compound in their favor. Then they'll start punishing teams who will contest the same compound, and if any team decided to contest the same compound. So that's what I like about this particular team. Now, P and crew drop down near the southern side and you can see towards a military island, and zone is just opposite to the plane path, western shift.
Oh, wow. Now, this is again an interesting game in front of us. Although, spoilers, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to end up towards, well, it's somewhere in the middle of Gata and Query. So we're going to have a slow early game once again, quite similar to the second wrangle of today. But let's see how the teams are going to deal with this challenge, because there is again a lot on the lines, and P and Crew this time. Look at the squad; they have decided to go towards the Military Island. Elementary can definitely put up a challenge for those teams, but teams we will keep an eye on. It's going to be Team Destiny. It is going to be the squad of Harame and the players from the side of Bad Cops all the way towards Novo Repnoi. So it is going to be quite interesting to see what this early game is going to look like for the squads. Although Vibes just going for the charge on towards Team Destiny in Pochinki. First fight of this match.
First fight of this match, and I expect a lot from the team vibes. And yup, they are showcasing the same thing. Knocked out one player, and Sherpa is not in a good position. Praveen just marching towards him. He has an M4 in his hand with a level 1 vest with no helmet. So if one AKM shot will take you down. Jiggle on the other side, just moving inside a different building. He has that one grenade. Just cooking up one grenade. Just gonna lock that one on top of the first floor. But Praveen receives some amount of damage. Aru's on the other side knocked out Malik. That will relieve, and that will give them a lot of space to work out.
Well, it is definitely going to give them quite a lot of space. And as Vibes, they only start the game with 3 players. Now they're going to be down to 2 players. Praveen and Jiggle, the last 2 players surviving 2 versus 4 situation. The numbers are against the situation is against them. And the players of Team Destiny, they're going to look to get these kills for themselves. So at least for the late game stages, they're going to be pretty much secure. Again, 3 teams right now. Whoever walks away with the chicken dinner will be able to qualify. Let's Go is going to be there. Bad Cops is going to be there. And Harama is going to be there. Destiny, they have to pull off one of the most phenomenal performances in the history of the game in order to qualify for the finals. But let's see if that is actually going to happen. As the players are running with utility in their hands, trying to see if they can take out Praveen, the nade should be perfect. And half speed is. He will be able to dish out a lot of damage, but still no knock. Praveen is down to around 15 HP on him. His teammate Jiggle is going to try and cover the position from where there is a potential for players of Team Destiny to actually go for a charge. But let's see. Team Destiny, Aruz is going to be the first one to run in. In fact, inside the house right now, Jiggle still holding on the stairs. Another nade is going to be tossed out. Praveen, the bedroom area on the ground floor, still hiding, still trying to survive with the DPS in his hands as well. It's going to be down to Jiggle trying to secure this fight. I mean, Aruz needs to go for free fire on that stairs, but he just tried to go for a fake, push the players from the side of Destiny. Vibe on the first floor where his teammate was waiting, and Vibe, they just fell right into the trap. Team Destiny, they started off with 3 players as well. They lost out on one of their teammates, but they come out on top and 3 kills have been secured by the squad.
So it was an even fight, but still Destiny just won that fight, and kudos to every single player. But as I just mentioned, Arush, he should go with that free fire. But at the end, they won the Pochinki fight, and they have good control inside the circle too. Now look at the position of the players of Skylight Gaming. Again with the same drop, they are just ruling out safe zone. They are in the center of the safe zone. Harame decided something different, right? And that is they are going to move inside the circle pretty early. MR5 on the other side taking some shots, maybe just spotted down the players of Way Out Satan. Now he starts moving in, he starts just moving towards the play zone. That's again a good thing. On the other side, the team Bad Cops towards No Ripnoy, and I think so they'll play a little bit passive so that they can collect some decent amount of placement points. Then they'll focus on those skill points.
Well, let's see. I mean, as you said, I mean, focusing on the kill points it is going to be quite important for them. But High Voltage right now have a threat lurking quite close to their position, and that's maybe the players of Way Outside. The players do know how to control this position of school and school apartments really, really nicely. This is their home, and there is absolutely no easy way for any squad to challenge them in a position like this. Let's see, way out state and lurking in the corners out in the open. What will the squad be able to do in a situation like this? But Harame, as we did talk about the squad, it is really important for them to secure the chicken dinner in this match. Chari with a nade. If he finds an opening, Rame might as well just say goodbye to their slot in the finals. But the nade is not going to dish out damage, although Spirit, they know there is a threat lurking around the corner in the form of the players of Skylight Games. The fight is going to be initiated really, really long. This time, Skylight did not make the mistake of going towards Everest. They stick around the Gatka area, and that is the thing that revives Harame right now.
Look at that, Viking really surviving on 1% HP as you just mentioned. Changing out the position doesn't change your phase, because Heaven just spots out one player. Device goes down. This is not looking good for this particular team. Harame, but from the backline, Skynet Gaming taking down a lot of damage with this. Harame MR5 is just staying on the backline, somehow providing a lot of cover to his teammate. Spirit on the other side on 5% HP. Tried his level best to escape from that situation, but we saw the Joker literally denying every single fact, and Skylight Gaming finishes off Harame from the lobby at the 14th position without securing a single kill. Skylight Gaming end up Harame's dream, and they never expected this.
Well, as you said, they never expected this, but let's see what is going to happen. Heaven, he is getting a revive, and as you said, I mean, Harame just being caught completely off guard. Along with an exit in this game, they will have to take an exit from the tournament as well. They were outside the top 16. The only thing that could save them was chicken dinner, but now all hopes are lost.
All hopes are lost for this particular team, but we still have those two teams. Bad Cops is still there, taking a lot of damage of the blue zone, but I feel bad for Harame. They literally tried their level best, but it was the end. Now, the important part is the teams who are playing a little bit passive, they have to move inside the circle, and they certainly are. They're doing the same thing, but while receiving some damage. Now, way out Satan and high voltage, pretty close to each other. High voltage is way out Satan. Apologies, they just decided to move forward from the Nova Gripnoy Bridge, and they're just gonna continue their journey towards the Georgia Pool area.
Well, the journey is going to be continued, but it's not going to be an easy one, Grant. It's definitely not
Yeah.
going to be an easy journey, because this one, it's going to be like an adventure from one of those horror movies where you will have to battle the monsters to come out on top. And specifically, I mean, I believe the protagonists of the journey, at least in their own eyes, will be the players from the side of Bad Cops. Let's see if they make it to the other side, and if they manage to get that top 3 finish that we have been talking about in this match. In the meanwhile, Skylight Gaming, they do tend to spot out the last 2 players surviving from the side of Team Destiny. Shots were fired, but none of them actually connected. So players from Team Destiny, they're just going to get out of this position, move over to the other side of the bridge, and try and find some safety for themselves.
Finding those safety cushions, finding those safety covers is always important. What if any team trusts towards you, and you might end up losing? But Skylight Gaming with an awesome start, 4 kills onto their name, holding the southern eastern side of the Gatna area. And kudos to this particular player, because Heaven, he was present with that one particular player. I think Shari just providing a lot of cover to his teammate. That back cover was very, very important. But Shante with this amazing spray knocked out Ayush with his M416, switched to a PP Bison, and he is just towards the petrol pump area. But look at that, Legend. He's ready, so that if Shanti just come out from the petrol pump, he will punish him. Shanti trying his level best, and the kill confirmation is going to be there. But as I just mentioned, Legend is also firing some shots on towards Shanti. He just backed off. He already dished out a lot of damage. The kill confirmation is going to be there. Now, the difficult part is if they decided to move from the bridge area. I'm talking about P and crew, then it might possible they will face an elimination.
Well, let's see. I mean, it should be quite interesting, as you said. I mean, the possibility for elimination is going to be there. But Inception, oh, let's go! This is the team sitting on the 16th position on the standings right now, and they have lost one player right now. Two of the players of Elementrix. If Let's Go get taken out right now, that means there's going to be possibility for Bad Cops to make it to the other side in the finals. So this is going to be so important for Let's Go to disengage this fight against Elementrix and just completely back off. Don't even try to go for a fight. Don't even try to go for a trade. Just back off. Go for a top 5 finish.
It seems like Johnny, they are just doing the same thing. They were listening to your casting and they were like, "Yup." And we all know that Elementrix, whenever they are bloodthirsty, whenever they kill or takes down one player, they always go for the multiple kills. And we saw that was a risky move from the side of Inception because he was on top of the barn house, right? It is, you are vulnerable from a different angles. You are out in an open area. Despite of that fact, he knocks out one player, finishes him off instantly, converting that one player into a kill point. Amazing move from the side of Elementrix. On the other side, Destiny, two players in two different compounds, a ruse and Spit.
Well, let's see. I mean, still 13 teams, 47 players remaining, and Skylight Gaming are just chasing the players of Team Destiny. They're following them quite closely. There's another team
Yeah.
closing in on the position. Look at that, look on the radar, there's another team closing in, and I believe it's the players of way outside, but Aruz just, he's trying to scare them away. That might not be the brightest of the decisions right now, as his information is going to be given away, and now there's going to be a possibility of Team Destiny to be sandwiched, but Bad Cops stuck on the military island until now the circle moves away towards the side of Query, where High Voltage have actually already taken control of the circle.
High Voltage will be inside the center, and for sure they are going to punish a lot of teams from the Cody area because we all know that height advantage, those mountain areas, those ridges will provide a lot of cover. But right now, Skylight Gaming, they knocked out one player of Destiny and now instantly pushing towards them because they know that only two players surviving. The revival is going to be there. Aru's is going to heal himself up, but is it too late? Aru's inside the shack. Does they know where he is? But Pratik from the other side, he goes down. But he's falling down from Vital. Arus goes down. This is going to be end for Team Destiny 2. This is going to be the final note. This is going to be the final page of their book. But Hespit, he's still surviving on top of the barn house. But look at that. How many grenades the players of Stalwood, the players from Skylight Gaming, literally lobbing on top of Hespit.
Well, let's see. Oh, there it is.
No.
Destiny is also going to be snatched away from them. I expected the last lad to at least walk away with a few kills, and it looks like Skylight Gaming right now, they are the Grim Reapers, just destroying the dreams of anyone who was thinking that there was a possibility that they might be able to move into the finals. And Skylight Gaming is like,
Nope. Wait a minute. So that was the case, but Elementrix on the other side taking different fights, but Team High Voltage just want to utilize this type of information into their favor. Ozzy on this side takes down some players, but Liquid was confirmed a kill by. Okay, so you're just using those buggies to confirm those kills, right? That's a different way in the middle of fight. But right now they have a lot of cover, so yeah, they can do that. But we still have 11 teams left, and those two teams who were on the verge of elimination as well as on the verge of qualification, they are still alive. They're still in the lobby, and our eyes are on top of those two teams. Let's go, Black Ops.
well, let's see. Jammu from the side of Ace is finally going to be taken out, and Ekta Esports, this is just bonus points for them. But moving forward, it is going to be quite interesting to see what Ekta Esports will be able to accomplish. I mean, they're just going to try and secure and protect their first position right now at this point from PNQ. And since the players of PNQ are falling down on the other side, things might just work out for Ekta Esports. High Voltage taking a sort of a duel, or well, just taking a little bit of shots on themselves from the players of Trikuru Nepal. Extreme is going to try and see if he can rotate to the ground floor. I mean, you have to be prepped to take the exit from the cover, even at this point inside this game.
Talking about cover, look at that. Ozzy just hiding behind those little boxes, right? He's just making sure that he'll not take any type of damage from one particular angle, and he's just hiding out without compromising his position. But now, way out Satan, they have good control of this silo area. 3 players inside that one compound, one barn, and Frankie in a different compound. But Skylight Gaming, they already secured 6 kills, and we all know that they are hungry. They need some move. They are also rotating inside the circle. They are playing on the edge of the circle. 15 seconds left on the clock. After that, the fourth circle will close in, and we'll witness where the fifth circle is just going to pan out. But the thing is, the most important thing is that bad cops, they are again not in the play zone.
Well, but they might not be in the play zone, but Bad Cops are doing something really impressive right now. They are playing between the positions of the circle and the blue zone, and they are surviving. Bad Cops right now are playing the most passive play style that you can expect in a matchup on Wrangle, in a matchup, in any sort of matchup on this map. And if they manage to pull this off, this might just be the thing that they need. I mean, as I said, top 3 finish with a few kills in the final seconds, but oh, as I say that, Bad Cops, they just run into the players of Ekta Esports and lose out on Prateek. 3-man roster is still surviving though. They need to move south and try and stay on the edge, the southern edge of the circle, but Spy is going to take it down as well. Ekta Esports pushing out a lot of damage. Rana on the backlines is going to be taken down as well. Ekta Esports really shattering the dreams and hopes of Bad Cops, and if this is taken out, then top 16 will be finalized. And Rana in the back end still trying to fight it out. Nate just spraying the smoke down, but Rana is in the back lines. 1 versus 3 situation for him to keep the hopes and dreams of the team alive. It's going to get set, but try and run away from that. Right, the whole team is going to spray him down and try and blow him up, but he moves towards the shorelines and he's still surviving, hiding inside the depth for a few more seconds. Not going to be an easy job for him.
Look at
The
that.
grenade is quite close. He moves forward. It's going to be quite close to the spikes, but the damage is being dished out. Another good grenade by the players of Ekta Esports, and Rana is going to be in a world of
No,
trouble
don't.
again. Get inside the buggy. Is going to try and get away, but I believe he is going to be blown up pretty soon. Switches his position, gets far away from the players of Ekta Esports. Now this is smart. He's trying to get distance between him and the players that are trying to take him out, and all he has to do is stay inside the edge of the circle, because Ekta Esports, even they have threat lurking around. They won't be too aggressive to actually go for a push this far.
Yeah. And you know what? That was necessary, Shawnee, because as I just mentioned, that he is maintaining a lot of distance so that he he can secure some amount of kills while just staying alive till the end. He's just playing on the edge as well as on the shorelines, but for how long he can survive, that's the biggest question for him as well as for their fans. Now we can see a lot of fights spanning out towards the northern side of the quarry. We can see the Skylight Games try to level this and move inside the circle, but Team Extreme again gatekeeping for themselves. Look at that, the smoke wall is providing a lot of cover as well as blocking out a lot of vision. Now Team Extreme exchanging a lot of frag grenades as well as Molotov lobbing a lot of utilities on top of Skylight Gaming. But Phoenix, right of Vortex, my apologies, and Muffin Vortex falls on one player, just switched to his DP, tried his level best to knock out one player. There's out some amount of damage, connecting some bullets too, but that was not enough. Skylight Gaming players are still surviving. The base has that M249, but the bad thing is both the teams, they have to move inside the circle. They are literally 160 meters far away from the free zone.
Well, let's see, 150 meters. It's not even an easy rotation for them. Skylight Gaming, they've dealt with a lot of pressure so far in this game. 6 kills secured, and look at the 2 cars. He's going to be taken down by Skylight Gaming. He's going to look to secure this kill as well, and there's going to be kill being secured by Tari for his team. Team Extreme cut down to just 3 players. Joker still trying to find an opening inside the circle. In fact, he has found an opening inside the circle for his team. But Skylight Gaming, they need to be careful, because from the other line, way out, Satan is going to be closing in as well, and that might just be the team that take them out. So it is going to be a really, really tricky rotation for the players of Skylight Gaming to make, but Joker from the backline should be able to provide the necessary support for his team. He has taken a bit of damage, but still going for the shot with the DP, and as he's shooting on the players of Way Out Satan in the backlines, we do see the players of Ace Recruit as well, and again, just like all the other lads, they run into the players of Ace Recruit, they're getting taken out as well, but in the meanwhile, Sigma Arts, they take an extra problem.
They take an exit from the game at the 11th position on the other side. Joker literally dishing out a lot of damage on the two players of way out Satan. That comes one player is still surviving from the side of that particular team, but slowly and steadily we can see the team who is on the 16th position, they are losing some players, just surviving only 2 players. Now, Skylight Gaming, they are inside the circle, they have control of this particular watchtower, but Miracle, because Miraculous Grenade knocked out not 1, not 2, but in fact 3 players.
Amazing performance from Miracle right there. But Leon from Skylight is still alive, and Sword has been spotted out going for the shots with the M4 and the 3X. It's not going to be easy. The distance is a little bit too much. They have managed to find Loki. But look at the chance that the grenade is going to be the reason why the players from way outplayed, and Ekta Esports, as they close in from the backlines, they're going to compete against the players of Skylight as well. The threat that was over the players of way out Satan is now on the lap from Ekta Esports. But Leon does not care. His objective is to secure those kills. And even though Chante has been revived, his HP is really low.
Yeah.
Sword is going to be able to find another knock with the grenade. Now he just has to deal with one more player from the side of Ekta Esports. Miracle managed to get away. Now Sword has been out in the open. And Gaming again, they are putting up a lot of pressure on every single team.
Just like Esports, he has been taken down. Heaven X again. Every single player of Skylight Gaming literally pinching down that one single player of way out Satan. Now, if we talk about our live stats, Cops, one player from Bad Cops, he was inside the play zone, but right now he's in the safer side. But look at the circle, Johnny. Look at that circle. Dead circle, and not a single team inside the same zone. High voltage. They are the only single contenders who can move inside the circle without facing any single problem. Ekta Esports, we can see the Jante just laying down some random fire, just shooting some random bullets. But Bad Cop, that is their last hope. If that grenade connects, then this is the end.
Well, as you said, if that nade connects, that is going to be the end of the players of Bad Cops. But Skylight Gaming, they get taken out. Bad Cops are still alive. One last player still fighting his way inside this game. All the rest of the competition has been taken out, apart from Let's Go, who are still trying to see if they can figure out a way inside the circle. High Voltage putting up a lot of pressure. Team Extreme, they might just lose out a few of their individuals, but High Voltage, they are trying their level best. While Triple and Nepal, they get one of their own lads knocked out. High Voltage Assassin is going to run forward, find an opening. Team Extreme, one more lad is going to take it down. Now 2 players charging towards Assassin. Their HP was low, but he was able to dish out a little bit of damage before he went down. That might just be able to, that might just be the thing that helps his teammate out. Havoc has been revived, running forward. Extreme is down to 50% HP as well. His teammate right alongside with him is going to be down to Depeche, and the other lad is going to be Pumpkin to clutch out this fight against the players of High Voltage, but that is not going to work out in the favor of Team Extreme. They get taken out of 9th position. Another team is going to be forced to take an exit. That is going to be the squad of Bad Cops.
No!
Just 1 kill, 8 position, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The top 16 that you saw after the last game has been finalized. We're going to have a look at that once again. Maybe a few things have changed here and there. Ace is taking an exit. Elementrix with 8 kills right now, down to the top 6, 12 players still alive. Ekta Esports is still in this game. They are still part of the action with 2 players and 10 kills to the team.
But to be honest, Johnny, I think so. That Let's Go solidified their journey for the finals, because one single player, one last hope, one hope of light is still surviving from the side of that one particular team. Citronipo, Nepal, they're doing a lot of job, secured 5 kills. That could be their kill, but that was not the case. Elementrix goes down at the 6th position with 8 total kills, and way out Satan Zord. This man is crazy. Takes out both the players of Ekta Esports. Ekta Esports goes down at the 5th.
Well, Ekta Esports getting taken out, down to 4 teams. Finally being shut down, the Danger Squad. But let's go, just 1 player, High Voltage with all 4 still alive. Riku, Nepal, 3 players still present in this match. So they might just be able to challenge these lads from the side of High Voltage, but now they are outside the circle, 80 meters to go. And that is not going to be an easy rotation. They're going to be out in the open, completely exposed. And that is where I believe the squad of Trickle might just be able to capitalize. Way out, the squad is completely been down, has players at the back lines and in front of them as well. Nowhere left to go for him and OG Lord from Let's Go. OG Lord is going to be finished off now. It's just Lord High Voltage have to deal with. and or maybe 3 Nepal are going to deal with him first, and then these two teams will just be focused on each other.
At least Let's Go secured 8 to 7 points from this particular match. So yeah, it's going to be a comfortable switch around as well as comfortable team for them. But right now we have 3 teams left. Look at the position of Extreme in a very extreme position, pretty far away from the lads, pretty far away from the pack, leading the charge right now. Spots down one player. He's using a Scarl, an unusual weapon. Players usually prefer an M416 in this type of fights, but right now Extreme, this could be his game right now. That he just got thrown down, collecting a lot of information and feeding that type of information to his team. But way out Satan, never rule out one single player because he can change the tides.
Well, as you said, he can change the tides, and it is going to be quite important for him to do that as well. Either for either of the teams, in fact, if he takes down one of the players from the side of Breakthrough, then High Voltage get the advantage. If he gets a knock on High Voltage, then Breakthrough get the advantage. But Aussie, no HP on 50% HP, and he chose to charge on Bunny. Bunny getting into the knock. High Voltage, they're going to be down to his last 2 players surviving, last 3 players surviving, but this has been made quite close to Bunny. He has to dodge out the damage, but Aussie's kill is going to be secured by him. Once he finally starts shooting, that is the next thing. It is going to dish out a lot of damage. Bunny needs to be careful. The 3-man roster from the side of Tripur Nepal is still surviving in the fight. Is down to a 3v3. God is completely pinned down. He's going to get scored out and picked off by Slipknot, but now Slipknot's position has been given away. He has the Groza in his hands. Should be able to dish out a lot of damage, but needs to be quite close to the players of High Voltage in order to get the maximum efficient sort of play from that weapon. Havoc is finally going to be taken down to a 2v2 situation. Bunny is going to be finished off. Assassin has been scored out. Slipknot getting another knock for himself, down to a 1v2. And whoa, High Voltage, they still managed to secure amazing spray transfer by the last player from the side of High Voltage. An impressive performance by this team. Impressive performance by the players. They get the last winner of the day, move to the top 6 with 6 kills, 21 points, and semi-finals are done, ladies and gentlemen. All that's left to do right now is have a look at the overall standings and see the top 16 teams.
I would love to talk about the teams who were pretty close to qualify, but the important part is teams. Some of the teams were tried their level best. They were looking
Yeah.
pretty decent, but it all comes down to your play, your synergistic play, your call outs, as well as how you're going to react in different times. At different times, if you got stuck in a bad situation, how you're going to react in that type of situation. I'm talking about when bad cops end up with the fight against Ekta Esports, and Ekta Esports literally dominated them. But we have the MVP in front of us. It was Norton. He secured 5 kills and just out 639 damage. But if we talk about who just out the highest amount of damage amongst them, it is Inception with 4 kills onto his name with 7111 in the damage list.
Well, quite an amazing performance, but I have to say the most impressive team in this matchup was Ekta Esports. They were able to secure those kills, and how Kyante just refuses to die. But we have the match very in front of us, and Tripur Nepal doing a wonderful job. I mean, in terms of utilities used, longest distance kills, highest distance kills as well. But in the end, it was High Voltage shut them down, and again, it was really impressive. Down to a 2v1, and still High Voltage are able to secure that second. And look at how close the game was, just 1 point difference between these two teams. But Ekta Esports with 16 points from this match, really impressive performance. Skylight Gaming as well, high kill game coming in from Skylight Gaming and Elementrix with 12 points. 2 Elementrix inside the top point. Skylight Gaming on the second with 8 points.
Yup, and if we talk about those 8 points, out of those 7 were kill points. But Way Out Satan Zord, he was the final player surviving from the side of Way Out Satan. He was the reason why Ekta Esports got eliminated. But still, they are at third position with 16 points. Now, again, Ekta Esports, they were at the first position. They were looking pretty decent. But Let's Go, as you just mentioned, they were playing pretty passive and they just focusing on those 63 points. Bad cops, a bad outing from this particular match with only 2 total points onto their name.
Not just that, every single team we thought had the opportunity to make it to the other side was taken out. Destiny,
Yeah.
Bad Cops, and Arame. These 3 teams were potentially right on the verge of contesting the qualification position from the squad of Let's Go, but no. And it was the same team that denied the opportunity to Arame. And Bad Cops at the same time. I mean, Bad Cops, they ran into Ekta Esports, but Destiny and Harame, the opportunity was snatched away by the players of the N Crew.
Yeah, Ingrid was the reason who, like they were taking down a lot of teams. But I just want to talk about that one single team, and that is Vibes. Throughout the 5 matches, they were struggling. They were
Yeah.
not looking that confident as I saw them yesterday. They were literally dominating every single team yesterday, but today they were struggling. I don't know what just happened. Maybe they just don't want to show their cards, or they just want to play a little bit faster, just try their level best to work out a different strategy. Maybe this was the plan, but you know what? To be honest, it doesn't work out in their favor. But we have the player stats of Ekta Esports. If we talk about the kill department, Spikey and Shantae just leading the kill department with 30, 35 kills respectively. Look at the KPM. It is equal. 1.46 Spikey, 1.46 Shantae.
I mean, Shantae and Spike have been impressive. I mean, throughout their performances, be it in the quarterfinals or in the semis. But I mean, this team, they have looked so impressive, no matter how they like to play. But again, this style is kind of unique. They like to have slow
Yeah.
starts in where they where they exactly start popping off in terms of the longer picture of the tournament. But looking at the overall standings, the top eight, we knew these teams were going to make it. Raw Fit, Myanmar, Skylight, we include Ekta, High Voltage, Elementary, Vibes are going to make it to the finals. But the second page is where things are going to look really interesting. We have Team T2K, 3 Kuru Nepal, Extreme, we have State DRS, WP Kings Nepal. They're going to be happy to look to the other side and let's go the top 16 teams, ladies and gentlemen, that we will be witnessing in the finals starting next week. But again, after this, the third page where we will witness the teams whose dreams are shattered, but still an impressive performance. A huge round of applause to the teams that made it this
Yeah.
far in their journey of this national championship. Bad Cops, an impressive performance from them. Harame, we know that they have been part of the action, the PUBG Mobile scene in Nepal for a long time and have been really, really impressive. Destiny, Aruz is a man who is leading a charge for this team, and I've seen him in the past as well. He is a really impressive player. IoT is capped to win. Smart Ace finally getting out of that 24th position. I'm happy with that being achieved by the team, and Okil Shada on the 24th position. So huge round of applause to these teams for making it this far to the semifinals. But now it is just the top 16 that will be moving forward.
Yeah, congratulations to all the top 16 teams and other teams as well who were unable to qualify for the finals. They literally tried their level best, but at least you have that experience, and for sure they will showcase that experience in the other tournaments. But we talk about the overall leaders. It is Gunner from the side of Sean Mara with 45 kills and 6,900 damage from his side. But Sandesh, look at the damage. 8,183, but out of that damage, 44 kill conversion. This man is unstoppable at this moment, Johnny.
Well, the man was unstoppable, but so were a lot of the teams, and they report in front of us. And I like this. I like the diversity that we have. Highest skills during the day, high voltage, highest damage. It was gonna be Nepal. Highest heal being done was Cinema Arts. Highest knockouts, Team Extreme, and highest damage, which is, well, as we like to say, not really a good thing, was Skylight Gaming. Even though Skylight Gaming, they did have a really good performance throughout the day.
To be honest, Skylight Gaming, why they have the highest damage received, because whenever they engage in a fight, they never focus on one team. At least it was just they were like, we have to take fights with at least 2 to 3 teams, and they always go for those multiple fights, and that's why they those multiple fights somehow pays off, but sometimes it backfires too. If you talk about the Miramar map, when they got punished by the players of high voltage, they tried their level best, but that one
Yeah.
mistake, when that one player just jumped off from the cliff and he got knocked out, at that situation, they just got outnumbered, and high voltage literally punished them in that type of situation.
But you know what? The question is going to be before we actually move to the finals of this national championship. When is DRS going to give up on those
Oh,
kills? That's going to be a question. DRS
yeah.
are playing so insane in every single match that they stepped in during the quarterfinals and during the semis as well. Just going all out. YOLO getting those kills, and they were getting those kills as well. So that is the thing. DRS, it is really weird seeing that team on the second page of the standings. We expect them to finish in the top three in the finals, but let's see what's going to happen. The semifinals are done. Again, top 16 teams will be moving forward to the finals. That is where we are going to see you guys. So until then, take care. Good night. Bye.